All vans are ADA compliant with wheelchair lifts. Cleveland County Transit offers a big city-style bus service in a small van with 34 stops in Shelby. For more information, call Cleveland County Transit at 704-482-6465 for more information.
Good morning. Happy Saturday, Super Bowl weekend. One of the best, most exciting weekends for all of sports fans. We had an exciting week here at KTC Broadcasting. We've got high school basketball and other sports that are going on right now, big time around the area to talk about. We've got Super Bowl to talk about. KTC was at Media Day. If you're watching online, you see Hunter and Carson over here sporting their nifty 10 that they brought back for us, Terry, for our show. For us to put on, we got to find a spot to put it. Maybe somehow, I would try to put it maybe over there where we can get it in the shot between those guys. Might have to move a poster or two. I'm not going to move Mark McGuire for Hunter or Carson, but you know.
You're not going to move a steroids guy for a poster.
What are you talking, Terry? He didn't break a single rule. Did he ever break a rule? Was he ever suspended?
Say a word.
Was he ever suspended?
When I put Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire up on boards, I took all mine and got rid of everything I had of theirs.
Well, I tell you what, Terry.
I kept my Barry Bonds because he never was convicted. He always said he didn't.
He was convicted of lying about it, perjury in court. He was actually convicted of a crime.
No. Pretty sure him and Roger.
Of an actual crime.
Him and Roger.
Yes, he was, Terry. He was actually convicted of a crime about lying about it. Palmieri lies about it in Congress. Let me, Carson.
Yeah.
Hey, Carson, welcome to the show.
There it is.
McGuire, he was a pitcher in college. DH'd his last year. And his rookie year, now here's your Bonds McGuire number, anybody ever talking about though. In Bonds' career, his highest number was 49 home runs. I mean, before he broke the record, was 46. He also after he broke it, he hit 49. So Bonds never hit 50 other than 1 year in his career. McGuire's rookie season, he hit 49. And that I don't know when he started taking steroids, like Terry said.
Got to say it, juice is nice.
But rookie season, 49 home runs. Looking at the numbers, I think McGuire, Ruth. I pulled this up the other day. It's funny Terry brought this up. There's one other person hit. It might have been Sosa's hit 54 times, or the only few. The McGuire. How about the top two home run leaders of all time? Hank Aaron and Barry Bonds, right?
Yeah.
Played 45 seasons combined. Won 50 home run season. The two all-time home run hitters won 50 home run season. Hank Aaron never hit 50. Bonds did it once, and we all know. And that was 24. Get this. So Bonds' second highest is what, 49? And his highest is 73. 24. That's a large jump, isn't it?
That's not a big jump. That can happen to anybody.
That's 50%.
If you don't think that can't happen, ask James Harden.
24 more
I'm pretty
home
sure
runs.
24 home runs is more than Ozzie Smith had in his whole career.
It's close.
You know,
it's very close.
I mean,
but yeah, 24 was his jump. And when I think we was talking Wednesday on like actual home run hitters and stuff. And I have the all-time list of as far as, per at bats and all that. McGuire's number one in that. I think Ruth's two. Stanton's 3 or 4 right now, actually, in per at bats right now. He's got 10 more years to keep up that pace.
I'll tell you what, Stanton, it's either a home run or a strikeout. That's all you're getting with
Or a
him,
walk. One of the three.
It's just that's how it's.
Does he hold the bat long enough to
difference.
walk?
I'll say this though. I'll say this. I have no problem with the steroid users really, and it's only at least in baseball.
They've already put some in,
and that's one reason. But another reason
they're keeping the record breakers out, but the ones that didn't break records and took steroids, you guys can come on in.
But the reason why is because at the end of the day, just because you're taking steroids, that does not mean you know how to hit a baseball.
That was McGuire's point.
That's what I'm saying. Thing with Bonds, just because you have steroids doesn't mean that your eye to the ball, your hand coordination, that doesn't mean that it's good enough. I think
McGuire without the steroids, he was a home run hitter without the steroids because of his swing and how big he was. He was taking steroids because he couldn't stay healthy, and he was weightlifting like crazy, and that was what it was keeping him through 162 games.
See, and that's why a lot of people don't like when they take the HGH, because HGH helps you with recovery.
And McGuire was also, and you got to think that big dude is also looking at all these other little dudes taking all these amphetamines.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they had them on the tables, and of course, everything McGuire was actually doing was never illegal until after he had already quit, or he had retired, or they come up with these rules now. They started wanting to get rid of it. So, and you can look at Sosa; he just flat out jumped. And you can look at the numbers. Look at the number of 500 homers that McGuire has on it. I think he would have probably hit somewhere in the 400 range, maybe in his career, at 40 at pace, and probably wouldn't have been able to stay healthy all that time. I think he'd always been a home run. He might have done the same thing. I hate to say because Canseco, he was on roids, but kind of dropped a little bit lower in that level. But they've already let steroid users in, Terry. So where do you draw the line on that as far as who gets in, who don't get in?
No, well, I mean, when I took everything that I had of Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire and got rid of it, that's just me. I mean, everybody's got their own opinions. Excuse me. But as far as Bonds goes, and I like what you said a minute ago, it depends on how you look, because Bonds was one of the leading based on ball carriers when he stepped to the plate of all time. Yeah. I mean, and when you have pitchers out there who do not want to pitch to him in the first inning and walk him intentionally, I mean, there's a lot more to the game than just being a home run hitter.
The most Bonds ever hit in Pittsburgh was 34.
My whole thing with Barry Bonds is he didn't need to do it. He was a Hall of Fame player without it.
Yeah,
he
without
did
it.
Here's the reason he did it, and that's what.
Oh no, I know the reason he did it because
he was jealous.
Yeah,
he wanted the home run records, and he was jealous of the other ones. And Carson's right. He was already a Hall of Famer based on.
He was going to be. He was going to be 500 without steroids.
But then he wants the home run record, and then the home run records. He wants to beat Willie Mays.
He always had. I mean, he had that quote. He was, people would say, or somebody asked him, why are you chasing Mark McGuire? And it's like, I'm not chasing his home run totals. Like, I want his ring. I want his World Series ring. That's what he always said.
Yeah.
Whether he meant that or not, I
don't know. He was a total different player. Yeah. If you had to put those three in a row, there ain't a soul in this room, if you can be honest, would take Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire over Barry Bonds.
Nobody's saying that.
You know?
And they're not, but Bonds was. I think he won one Gold Glove. I think is what he got.
Well, then here's a real question too, because they talking about they have steroid users.
It wasn't Sosa. It was
keeping
Bonds
steroid users out. Well, now they're talking about with this legalization of sports gambling, and how they're going to make it sometimes sport gambling available at the ballparks now for baseball. Does that mean that Pete Rose has more of a reason to say, hey, there's no sense for you to still keep me out?
You know what Pete Rose really ought to do is whoever's sponsoring those, go to them, hire me, and I'm just going to buy
on when he gets in.
Get this. I'm going to buy tickets. I'm going to buy my own tickets to the games and just show up wearing these gambling site shirts. They're going to find Pete Rose in the crowd wearing a gambling shirt and just sit there and get paid.
Like that.
Well, I've said a lot of times.
He'd make all the money back that he's lost over the years probably on just that type of sponsorship.
I mean, I don't mean this, and I don't mean this in a bad mode, but I will never go to the Baseball Hall of Fame until Pete Rose goes in it, because to me it's a shame. They need to shut the thing down. If you don't have the leading hitter in your Baseball Hall of Fame, there's a problem. What he got banned from has nothing to do with what he did on the field.
It could affect.
It had nothing to do with what he did on the field.
It could have affected it when he was a manager and he's betting on games. And
when he was a manager, okay, that had nothing to do when he played. He's the all-time leading hitter.
Still affecting the game though.
So you're going to ban the man. I mean, there's two different aspects there, from a manager to a player.
He was a player manager at one point.
Well, you can put put Pete Rose the player in there. You don't have to put Pete Rose the manager.
Oh, Pete Rose the manager's not going in there in the first place.
Exactly. So we're just talking about him as the player, and what Terry's saying is perfect sense. That would be like leaving the all-time leading passer in the NFL out of the NFL Hall of Fame. It's like, wait a minute. So
No,
that just didn't.
the leading home run hitter. The leading home run hitter is not in the Hall of Fame.
At least the NFL, if you go to them, the all-time leading rusher, the all-time leading passer is going to be in there. These guys are not going to have nothing surrounding them that cannot get them in. It's going to happen. In baseball, they totally different. I mean, when you keep your all-time home run hitter out of there, you keep your all-time base hitter out of there. Come on, what are you having here? It's a joke.
Well, Terry, that's I mean, think about how much more cynical probably the Baseball Hall of Fame, the process to get in the Baseball Hall of Fame is in the Football Hall of Fame. Baseball Hall of Fame didn't until this class have any unanimous, appointments to the Hall of Fame. The first class, 11 people didn't vote for Babe Ruth.
Yeah,
That's
you're right.
I mean, baseball is as cynical a sport
ask
as
them
there
what
is.
was wrong with them.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Cy Young, none of them made it in unanimously. I mean,
Terry missed that conversation last week. So Terry, I want to ask you that. Since no one else has ever made it unanimously, do you think someone should? Mariano got in unanimously, and I thought if they are going to let someone in unanimously, that it was a travesty that it was him. And here's why.
Okay.
He's a closer. They don't even use closers now. Okay, would he, if he played for the Colorado Rockies in his career, his whole career, so the New York Yankees, would he be a Hall of Famer? And Carson says, well, Trevor Hoffman was. That's true. But you wouldn't have any postseason anything to think about, right? So, and he's a closer, like I said. And I brought out some numbers, and I'm going to find them in a second. So, I think he makes 39 appearances a year. So, he plays, it was 61 appearances. He averaged 39 saves a year. So, he helps his team 39 times a year.
Okay.
So, 1 out of every 4 games, he helps his team, basically.
Okay.
What about the guys like Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds, and all these other guys? Bonds can't even get into the Hall of Fame. Griffey's not unanimous. Babe Ruth's not unanimous. They played 162 games, have all these records. Pete Rose can't even get in the Hall of Fame. And a closer gets in, which is fine. I'm not saying he shouldn't get in. Let's start there. He should get in. He should be 99.9%. But 100% for a closer who, if he played for the Colorado Rockies, he ain't getting 100% if he played for the Rockies. He still might get in. I'll give y'all all that. He should be in. I'm not saying he shouldn't. But I think it's a travesty that a closer gets in 100% on a 100% vote.
Okay.
That was my point. He should be in and all that. But if we're going to go 100%, a closer who only helped 39 times this year?
Here's my deal with that, though. This is a closer who comes in 39 times and lights her out. The guy's not going to walk many people. He's going to come in. You're going to have to hit his stuff, and you're not going to be able to hit it. He's probably going to win 38 out of 39 times that he comes into that game.
Here's the question. That's fine. All that's fine. He's in the Hall of Fame. I totally 100% agree. The question is, does he deserve to be in with the only – think about all the people I just said that aren't in or he never got 100%. And that's the guy? That's the guy we're naming 100%?
See,
I agree.
Terry, my argument for him being 100% was there's no argument that he's the best closer ever. Right?
I agree.
And
when I
that's
think
what,
of stuff like that, I think of Kimball. That is
but
good.
that's where I
He's
back
young,
up when I said if he was a
comes
Colorado
in,
Rocky, would you say that?
I mean,
would we be saying he's the greatest closer ever if he was a Rocky?
If he's got all the same numbers,
I've seen
wouldn't have them
closers.
though.
No, I'm talking about. I mean,
think about it. He wouldn't have all the saves numbers. He would have half the saves numbers if he was a Rocky, and none of the postseason.
Well, you can't necessarily say. Yeah, I mean, I think you can.
Colorado? If he was a Kansas City Royal for 20 years, Terry,
would
he be a Hall of Famer?
You can say that
because y'all wouldn't be winning. Because here's the team. You got to think about the team he's on, and this is why I can say that. I think Carson. I'm not him. This is not ruining my day.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm saying is, if he played for the Kansas City Royals for 20 years, he would have half the saves and none of the postseason experience because Kansas City, he's not helping them win enough games to get into the postseason every year. Because think of the teams he was on. Every team in baseball spent half the money that the Yankees did through these years. So not only was he on the Yankees for the publicity, he got in the postseason every year because they spent way more money than every year. He had a stacked lineup. So I'm not saying he's not any good. Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley, all those should be in the Hall of Fame. That's fine. Rivera, it's the 100% thing. I'm like,
I'm with that 100% because I take Kim, and if you put him on Colorado or Kansas City, Colorado is a whole different aspect of a pitcher pitching out there. But if you move
How many
him to
World
Kansas
Series
City,
would y'all have won in the last
Wait a
20
minute,
years
hold up.
if
That's
you had
what I'm
Mariano
saying.
Rivera, Terry?
The Giants would have not beat us if we had Mario Rivera. I can tell you that. They would not have beat us. Kansas City would have won that World Series.
Okay, so 1 out of 25.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
Because
not,
I know
but that's
when
not
he
unanimous.
comes
Is what
in-
I'm saying. It's not
Yeah.
the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I think. I mean, my whole argument is that he is the best, and when you are,
That's
there's
fine.
no
The
when there's
best.
when there's
That's
no
fine.
argument
That's
that
fine.
you're the best at your position. That's when you can be. That's why Ken Griffey Jr. wasn't 100% because there's arguments that can be made for other center fielders, other outfielders that they're better than Ken Griffey Jr. There is no argument that anybody's better than Mariano Rivera as a closer and as a reliever.
I agree. 100%. There's
Okay,
none.
let me put it this way. If you had one pitcher, not even closer, not closers, anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, let's say one
3
pitcher,
outs.
3 outs. You're saying in the history of baseball, you're going of him?
Yep.
I
Pause.
mean,
I'm gonna
yeah.
say two names, and if y'all say that y'all would take Rivera over either one of these two guys, this is where I draw the line on closer thing. Was how good was Smoltz when he went? I'm not. This Smoltz didn't win one of my two names, but he went from, I'm a starting pitcher. I'll just go to the closer. Now I'm awesome at closing. How much faster was he throwing closing? So if we go 1 inning, 3 outs, you're bringing up your 3 best hitters. The first guy that I'm pulling up to the plate for 3 outs is Randy Johnson.
That's the exact name I was going to say. If you wouldn't have said it, I was
100-mile-per-hour lefty
Randy
throwing
Johnson.
sliders at your face. That's better than Mariano Rivera. The number 2 one is Nolan Ryan, and you should know that. If you want 3 outs, I want 100 mile. We got all these closers now throwing 100. I want the 2 best that we're doing it.
It's not. See, my thing with that is it's not necessarily. I mean, a major league hitter can.
If Randy Johnson was a closer, would he not be the greatest closer of all time?
I don't. He doesn't have the cutter. The cutter is.
He's got a 10-foot slider and 100-mile-per-hour. Did
It's
you
not-
see John Carson?
It's not. Yeah, no, I've seen that. My thing is, the cutter is so good because anybody like you have major league hitters, like 80% of them can. If you've got a fastball, even if it's 102 miles an hour, they can square it up. They're professional athletes. They can do that. The cutter, it moves so late, and you've got. Terry, how big is a sweet spot on a bat?
That's what I'm saying.
That big,
Yeah.
a cutter will move that much, and there goes your contact. There's swing and miss, or it's weak contact. And if I got to get 3 outs, I'm either going to get somebody that he's got a combination of it's swing and miss, and it's going to create weak contact. That's my thing. And he only needs one pitch. Everybody knows it's coming. There was literally one guy who had consistent success against Mariano Rivera. You know who it was? Edgar Martinez. And he got in the Hall of Fame, too.
Well, Edgar didn't have to do anything, Carson, but sit in the dugout with a pitching
Except he
machine
hit.
and have it throw cutters at him for 9 innings, and he
That's
practiced.
not-
He's not playing
You
defense.
can't simulate a Mariano Rivera cutter.
But you don't think
can ask
you don't think
anybody.
Edgar hit him better because he could do that? Or I bet what is Ortiz's against him? I don't know. I'm
Ortiz
sure it's
isn't
not
nearly as
terrible.
good. That's what I'm
sure-
saying.
But I'm not. I'm sure
That's
it's
what I'm
not
saying.
terrible.
No, Martinez is a
I'm gonna put it like
standout.
this.
He's an outlier.
Yeah. Here's how
You
I'm
think
gonna put it.
Martinez should be in the Hall of Fame?
No, hold on one second.
DH
This is how
hitter?
I'm going to
Yes.
put that. Mario Rivera and the cutter is going to be a whole lot different than hitting a fastball.
Or even
Don't
a
get me wrong.
or
now,
even a
no,
slider.
No, wait a
Why
minute.
are we
now,
talking
listen
about
to me.
this? I agree with everything y'all
Yeah.
say, other
A
than
fastball
he
is
shouldn't
the
be
hardest thing
100%,
to hit.
and if I had
the
3
guy's
outs, I
throwing
want
it, 'cause
Randy
it will
Johnson.
move. And
It
I'm with
depends
that.
on who's
But
throwing
if
it.
you hit it and you connect, it's
can
gone.
It's a lot easier to square up a fastball than a cutter.
I've seen McGuire hit a 585-foot home run off Randy Johnson. I understand. But, Terry, if you tell me you'd rather step in the box against Randy than Mariano Rivera, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Rivera, how hard does Rivera throw?
Mid-90s.
Yeah, probably. Mhm.
Okay. I'm just saying. Hey, Randy Johnson. Ooh. All right. I get out of that. Edgar. Now, what we was talking about this, the Hall of Fame thing was almost a whole The whole thing was a travesty to me. A DH should not be in. 2. The other one is Mike Mussina. If he wasn't a Yankee, he wouldn't have got in either. If he stayed a Oriole his whole year, he averaged 11 wins a year. Never had 20.
Yeah, 20.
Did he? One time. It was one time.
When he was 39.
With the Yankees. So what was their payroll then? 20 million, 30 million? Huh. All of a sudden these Yankees,
Blame the team for the money that they spend on guys.
A closer, okay, we talk about, winning pitchers and their wins. Closers rely on the rest of the team to do good, and I get 3 outs.
Well,
The
it's
rest of the team if if the Yankees don't score a run, can Rivera get a save? He can't. But
But you won't score neither. So we continue on.
For one inning. What about the other 8?
I mean, you know.
I got the other 8. Congratulations, Mariano. You helped. You helped pitch in. I mean, it's just as good as a setup, man.
I mean, if you're talking about,
okay, let's go to the DH. Doesn't even play a position. He can't play baseball. He can swing a bat. Ortiz moved over to he's doing another bit DH. This is all set up for him. So this is how it's going to work. The baseball writers know they weren't going to not vote for Ortiz because they all love Ortiz. So they're trying to set him up to get in. So you let one steroid DH hitter in, and then you let them all in. So Bonds is going to come after Ortiz. Just wait. It's going to be Ortiz, and then the next year it's going to open up the floodgates. We're going to have Bonds and the rest of them, Clemens and all of them going to come in. What do you think about that?
Well, I think Bonds needs to be in it. I'm not
that's
lying
fine,
about
but
anything.
is
The
that
other
not
two
how they're
guys, I don't know.
What about DHs?
I think they took too much money from American people to watch them on television and to stop what they were doing to go watch these two guys every night. And then they'd cut channels off so we would go to these two guys hitting home runs every time they come up every night.
What about Jeff
I
Bagwell?
remember every bit of that. That
Craig
was
Biggio.
every day.
What about all the steroid users? So you're only saying everyone who's ever cheated in baseball history, Terry, Pete Rose, all the steroid users, Bonds, all of them, everybody should be in except the 2 that broke the record one year.
You got a cork bat. I mean, you can just keep naming stuff that these guys did. I mean, I'm just saying this.
Name me one rule Mark McGwire broke. I'll wait.
Okay, you want to say he wasn't in your steroids ever, and I'm with you.
He didn't break a single
every
rule.
bit.
He didn't break a single rule, Terry.
I'm with you.
Did
And
he?
these
If
guys-
someone will pull it up, anyone on the planet, pull up a rule that Mark McGwire broke.
So we should have 2 different Hall of Fames, or a different section.
Well, it's a Hall of Fame. I think what about
You're gonna have like an area you could walk
how
in.
hard?
Here's a steroid
How hard
area.
is it just
Yeah.
to have?
I mean, why would you not?
How hard is it just to have a
Baseball.
90, a 70s, 80s, 90s, and a decade by decade room, and then just do the?
And then go like the 1990s through 2000 were steroids era.
But you can't.
I mean,
nobody
because then you're gonna end up with guys in there who really was not doing all of that. That would be part of that Hall of Fame.
They're
Well,
already
that were legit.
they're already in there.
Well, you know who another name is that you could bring up that was actually more towards, my era is A-Rod. Is A-Rod going to get in? I mean, what? He's been caught twice.
Because of how open he was about it. I think that will
You
help.
think
him.
they'll be as forget? Yeah, because he was. He went basically on a grand tour and was like, "Yeah, I did it."
I think he won't be first
I
ballot
did
just
it.
out of spite from them. But
These
yeah.
rules are funny.
Well, now I'm gonna be honest with you.
We're
We're
what I'm
talking
saying.
about baseball that we are letting reliever. We are letting a daggum DH, but we won't let Pete Rose in. This is what we're talking about here.
See that, and the DH thing for people that actually, if I play, you know how many people that are so here's what bothers me. There's probably 50 to 100, I don't know how many thousands of shortstops who've played baseball in Major League Baseball who are better baseball players than Edgar Martinez ever was. And because the only thing Edgar can do is swing a bat, think about, I can catch a ball, I can throw a ball, I can hit the ball. And you're going to tell me this guy who can swing a bat, that's the only thing you can do. And when I'm on the baseball field, we got 9 players, and they bring the DH in. I would say everyone on that field doesn't think that guy is as good as the rest of us. Because he can't. Only reason he's there is he's bigger than everybody else, and he can hit it hard.
I mean,
and
You've
that's
got
it.
to have that because in the NFL you got punters. Okay, all this dudes go out there and punt the ball. You think the NFL should not have a punter in their Hall of Fame? It should. It's
there?
part of the game.
Is there?
Yeah, Ray
Yeah,
Guy.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
Ray
about.
Guy.
was the first one.
It should
Ray
be.
Yeah.
How about this? You talk about splitting the Hall of Fame. I'll let the DHs in if you have an American League and a National League Hall of Fame.
Yeah, because the American League's the one that voted on to have that. I mean, okay. Well, I have no problem with
My whole thing with
It's
Edgar,
so complicated.
My whole thing with Edgar Martinez is
Was he ever the best player on his own team? That's usually how it goes.
Well, you had Ken Griffey Jr. on that
Yeah.
team.
Exactly. He's never the best player on his own team.
Okay, that's fine.
But how can you be?
Eddie Matthews is
Think
in the
of
Hall
New
of
York
Fame.
Yankees of all the ones they've had on the field at one time. That
Exactly.
was never one guy
Name
above
me
the
one.
other.
Name me one.
Well, I'm just saying. Now, just think about
Eddie
all
Matthews is in the Hall of Fame, and Hank Aaron was on the same team as him, and Hank Aaron is consistently considered.
Here's the question.
Did he ever
Yeah.
play 1 year without Hank? That's the question.
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
the question.
one.
Here's the question: is there another player? Well, since obviously Rivera has set the staple now, the first one to be unanimous, is there another player that you could see coming along?
Oh, there'll be 10 of them now.
10 of them
It'll
now?
be ridiculous.
I don't-
The only one I
so.
can see that's
If we're-
po-
if
that's
closer
that
is-
in my mind is, and it's not because he has a Yankees uniform
Oh,
either,
don't
but it's
say it.
because it's Derek Jeter.
No, God, no.
Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter.
You're dang right.
Derek
It's
Jeter,
all-
you
you're
know
right.
he's a
No,
unanimous.
no.
Yes,
no.
he is.
His
no,
nickname
no.
is the captain.
Okay, that
for
does-
a reason.
Listen,
like
Derek Jeter. If we want to talk about stats, Derek Jeter was awful defensively the last 8 years of his
Whoa,
career.
whoa, whoa,
He
whoa.
kept they kept
Whoa.
him out there because he's the captain and he didn't want to move to third base. And when you look at when A-Rod came there, A-Rod was the better defender at shortstop,
okay,
and they moved him to third.
okay.
Shortstop is a much more shortstop and center field are your two most important defensive positions
Yeah,
in baseball.
very
Why would
athletic.
you not want a better defender at shortstop?
Mariano Rivera just got 100%. You're trying to tell me
The
Why?
shortstop don't.
that
Derek
Jeter
Derek
won't.
Jeter is not the best shortstop ever. He's not even top 5 best
Derek
shortstops
Jeter-
ever.
Listen,
might be
Carson's
the most
argument.
known
Carson's
shortstop
argument on the
ever.
unanimous thing is that if you're the best at your position ever, that's what he's saying. There.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And my argument and what we're trying to say, I think what Hunter's trying to say to Carson is, Jeter's more important to that baseball team than Mario Rivera is.
Yes. Yeah, to that franchise.
But he's not
to
the best
Yankee
shortstop.
franchise.
He's not even the
But
top 5
that's
best
that, and that's the two arguments you're having is.
Yeah.
And the
Do-
media
do-
loves
is G-
Jeter.
that-
He did
and that's what
nothing to
and that's
go
what I'm
against
saying
it.
about the closure getting unanimous. Well, I think if I would have been happy if one person didn't vote for
You got to
Mariano,
remember who these
because
Hall of Fame voters
Jeter is
are.
more
Most of them are
important.
media members,
Jeter's more
They're all
important than
media
Rivera.
members.
and they
Do you
love
not
Derek
think? Do you
Jeter.
think so? The short
If
Jeter.
if I had to pick between, and I had to pick one. Goodness gracious.
Wait, what is the question?
Well, here's my question with all of that. Now, I'm gonna put it like this.
I got next one.
I would probably take Rivera for one reason. Because I gotta have that guy. I can go get another shortstop.
Exactly.
I mean, I can.
This is the
If he
craziest
goes
thing
you were
in
down-
saying,
my
who would you
life.
take, Derek Jeter or Mariano?
So are you
Rivera?
saying they wouldn't have won none of those championships if it wasn't for Rivera? It was Rivera
They're not,
over
they're
Jeter.
not winning. Maybe
Rivera
There's a
one or
lot of
two.
them that he saved for them a
That's
lot.
not what I said.
Well,
I
you're
said
asking
if
me
you
a
got to take
question.
one of them off. If you take one of them off those teams, which one wins more championships?
How
The team
many
with
Jeter
or
World
without?
Series
get another
clinching
shortstop.
outs did Mariano Rivera have?
I can move Alex
What
over
about the other
there, or-
24?
I'm just saying.
Those three don't
Those
matter. to
last
me,
those
Carson.
last 3 are so much different
Why don't
than
they
the
do
other
closures
24.
now? Then? Why don't they do closures now? Why have
Because
they got rid of
baseball's
them?
changed. You really you like the lineup is thinking is just different. It changes all the time. Think about football. Why don't we run it 80 times a game
Yeah.
anymore? Because we
Think
can
about
pass it.
Well, there's a problem with all of that, and we keep going back every time you see. And I'm not speaking of this
Yeah.
on account of the Cowboys, but when the Cowboys run the ball, they win.
Exactly.
It's that simple. But we got all these teams that we got to pass. Well, you know what? Do you have passing teams in the Super Bowl
I
this
can't
weekend?
believe we're sitting
No.
here talking about
Yeah.
closers are
Kinda.
more valuable than
Not
shortstop.
really.
Well,
The Rams.
if you look at, they're more 50.
Hold on, we're
Yeah.
back up. We're
But
baseball.
back to
We're in
baseball.
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 Are we? I just want to go on the record that y'all two are saying closers are more valuable than shortstops. Is that what we're saying?
I'm
But
saying
no, between them two guys we was just talking about. I ain't
Yeah.
just say it totally.
No,
we're talking
God,
about two
no.
guys.
Yeah.
So only on the Yankees.
We're only talking about two people.
That's
Is
that was
this
the
the only
question.
time in history? This is the only time in history
We're
this
only
has
talking
happened.
about
So-
two guys.
So if I ask a Yankees fan, they would probably say Rivera is more important to them than Derek Jeter.
They should.
I just
I mean,
don't-
I'm not a Yankees fan.
Listen,
I don't
could care
know.
less
I got
about
one that
either
I could
one of
text
them.
right
I don't
now
like
and
Derek.
ask
I don't
him.
like Derek
I do
Jeter.
too,
I
yeah.
don't like Derek Jeter
Yeah.
at all. But you can't convince me.
Listen,
as someone who's
I'm not saying Derek Jeter's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying he shouldn't be. He should not be 100% because he's a really good offensive shortstop. But the second half of his career, it was just downward slide defensively.
I totally agree with you. I'm not a Jeter fan at all. I
just
hate,
don't
I
think
can
he
really
should-
hate it on him.
He
I don't
definitely
think he's a
shouldn't
good
be
dude.
100%.
But our argument is that, or I guess mine, hers, or mine is, and I thought I did not know I was on an island at this, that I thought shortstops were 10 times more valuable than a closer ever
No,
was.
I love shortstops.
I thought any position player is more valuable than a closer. Someone who plays 9 innings is way more valuable than someone who plays 3 at any point, I think. And if I walked on a baseball field and played 9 innings, got 5, 6, 7 outs at shortstop, went 2 for 3, stole a base, scored a couple runs, and you tell me the cat who's been sitting in the bullpen eating hot dogs for 8 innings is a better baseball player than me, and the fat guy in the corner over eating hot dogs also, These two eat hot dogs for 8 when they're not playing,
Well, no.
and they're both better than me as a shortstop.
We're not talking about Babe Ruth. Nobody's sitting there eating hot dogs and drinking beer.
And and he's awesome.
Well,
He's
they got a
a
big old
pitcher and a
tall
right
end
fielder.
Yeah,
they
because
and
he
a first baseman.
Yeah, because he hit guys that were throwing 65 miles an
Well,
hour, and he swung a 42-ounce bat. All you had to do was
I'm
make
just
solid
So
fly.
Carson,
I'm
you saying
just getting at that.
Babe Ruth is
it's
not
gonna
any
be-
good?
it's
I'm
gonna
not
be
saying
hard
he's not
for
any good, but
Are you
It's
saying
gonna be hard
Josh
for
Gibson
someone
ain't
to
any
tell
good?
me.
no, Josh Gibson was better than Babe Ruth. Let's be honest here.
Well,
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh, now see, well, that wouldn't mean you can have an argument.
But I'm just saying it's
There's nothing
gonna
we
be,
can prove.
It's going to be hard for someone to tell me otherwise that Derek Jeter's not going to be unanimous. Unanimous.
I don't see why he should be. I just
Now look,
don't.
that's what I'm saying. Then
Well,
we could say the same
put it
thing
like
about
this.
Rivera. Now
Put-
we're not
well,
saying
Two
they
totally
can't be
different
nice.
arguments, guys.
Wait a minute, Hunter.
It's two totally
And
different.
two different positions.
Here's your whole
that's
deal
what's
with
so hard
this
about it.
too. If you
Because
come
one of
up
them,
with
you got to
this,
think, one of them's a batter too. Mariano don't even swing a bat.
if you come up with this, and Derek Jeter's the only shortstop in there, he might be unanimous.
What if Jeter's unanimous
there's not
and
another one
A-Rod
in
don't
there.
even get in?
That's ridiculous.
Oh, that's
So,
fine.
so
man,
and
that's
here's
trash.
here's where I want to
no,
get
that's
A-Rod.
not trash.
That's not.
Here we go again with A-Rod, who did a lot of illegal things to get himself known. Derek did not.
Whoa. He hasn't been proven. He is surrounded by roids and people who cheated.
At A-Rod's
you're
peak.
gonna say Jeter's
Like,
he gives
yeah.
gift bags to one night stands.
Yeah.
You gonna tell me this guy's not gonna cheat if he's got to take an extra pill or a needle?
See,
Bull
the
hockey.
thing, you can take offense out of it because obviously that's what people are going to correlate steroids with. At their peak, at their prime, Alex Rodriguez was a better defender than Derek Jeter.
Absolutely.
Well, at their prime, I'm not even going to consider Yankee Alex Rodriguez.
No, God, no.
Rangers.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Rangers
saying.
yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like,
But they'll remember
take
him
the
for
offense
his
out of
Yankee
it.
years.
Take the offense out of it, and A-Rod is a better defender than Derek Jeter.
They'll
That's
remember
what
him
I'm
for
saying.
his Yankee years because I listened to a podcast and he said he loved his Yankees years.
I'm gonna go back
that's
real
where
quick.
he learned
Well,
to be clutch.
Real quick, the Edgar Martinez thing on the how I said he wasn't the best player on his team.
Mhm.
Was he ever the second best player on his team? Because there was A-Rod on
Probably.
those. Ichiro was on a lot of those teams. You got King Griffey. Jay Buhner was out there at some
No.
point. Randy Johnson was out. Think of all the pitchers that kind of rotated through there too. Felix. So the Edgar really kind of. I think that one bothers me more because I'm pretty sure he was probably on steroids like the rest of them too.
Well,
and so now the guy that's DH is
You can ask his teammates. I mean, they will say that Edgar Martinez is the best hitter they've ever seen, like the best
Well,
hitter.
that's fine, but he didn't play defense, and he's. We can all talk about how he's good. You could put him in the same. If you're going to say McGuire's not a Hall of Famer, and the Edgar is, that bothers me because that would. Yes, Edgar can hit 320 or whatever. Did he ever? I don't think he ever hit 40 home runs either, and that's
I don't
another
think
thing.
but he's a hitter. He wasn't like that. That's how people described him. Wasn't
That's cute. I mean, I'm just saying, guys. I played with a guy like that, and he's not the best player on our team. We had 5 players better than him,
What?
and all he could do was he was bigger than everybody else. And when he swung, he hit it real hard, and sometimes balls squeezed through there. And that's
It's
all
just,
he
it's
could
one
ever
of those
Edgar
things
Martinez
where
wasn't
it's
that
just
way,
one of those
though.
things where it's
Derek
like,
Jeter
yeah.
is the same thing as having Draymond Green on the Golden
Oh,
State
God,
Warriors.
we gotta go
No,
on that.
Derek Jeter's 10 times better
That's
than
the
Draymond
same
Green.
thing.
Is.
They're not going to win unless he's on the court with them.
You know, we actually have more Hall of Fame talk to get to when we.
Yeah,
get
we
to
got to
NFL.
talk NBA, and if Terry wants to bring up hot garbage, speaking of not best players on your team, if you want to bring up Draymond, good God Almighty,
Not even the 5th best
I mean,
player on your
come
team
on.
anymore.
he should be
Come on.
starting.
Simple. You got to have a leader. Derek Jeter was their leader.
Terry.
I
Draymond's
think that's
their leader.
You can't argue that. I think that's set in stone. That he was their leader. So.
Well, how about this, Carson? I'll let Carson have the final thought on Jeter. Would Jeter be a Hall of Famer if he wasn't a Yankee?
I mean,
Oh.
yeah, he's 3,000 hits.
If he was a Kansas City,
He's got 3,000
Royal.
hits.
Yeah, it's automatic.
but that stuff doesn't matter anymore.
3,000 hits.
3,000
Numbers
hits, it
matter.
does.
Numbers
I
matter
thought counting
in
stats
baseball.
didn't matter anymore.
Numbers matter in baseball.
You tell
more
me that
than
every
any-
time I say Mike Trout's name, you say
Name
counting
me a
stats don't
guy that
matter.
had 3,000 hits
What are
that's
you
not
talking
in the Hall
He's
of
got
Fame.
Mike Trout's got numbers. What are you talking about?
How many 40 home runs seasons Trout got?
That's not what we're
No,
talking about. We're not talking about home runs. I'm talking about hits right now with Jeter, and if no matter where he plays, he's going to get 3,000 hits. Mike
think so?
Trout. Mike Trout is still in the prime of his
who hit
career.
in front and behind Jeter?
In front. It changed.
I don't remember.
There's
It
a lot of
changed
good,
a
I mean,
lot.
a lot of good players.
I
Weren't there?
know,
Let's
yeah,
just
there's
name
been a
some
lot
of
of
them.
good players.
Alfonso
Gary Sheffield was
Soriano,
there.
Giambi.
Yeah.
Let's name all these players that were good around Jeter. Now, if Jeter was in Kansas City, who's hitting around him?
Well, I mean, my God, we can't.
Does
go
he
out
get
there
3,000 hits with whoever Kansas City's running out there behind him?
Well, I mean,
That's-
you never
that's
know,
a
or did they
question.
walk him to get to the next guy? I mean, there's a lot of situations
Yeah.
in
It's a
baseball.
lot of
I
what
always
is.
question the
Yeah.
Yankee stuff because you've got people in front and behind you. You've got everybody. You look at a team like the Royals, you've got stars at 2 or 3 positions. If you've got stars at 7 and 8 positions, it's a lot easier. And we'll talk about that later. We've way too much baseball. JP, you ready for a break? He's not. Shoot him. He's been sitting there for 20 minutes. JP, let's take a break now, buddy. We got to talk NBA big time. Few days. The trade line is up. I have looked at the trade line and it said some things as far as the Hornets goes going into this deal. Don't expect anything. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. KDC Broadcasting.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look. CKDKDS Macron. Oh, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now's the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vale. Has your old heated and air conditioning system been giving you trouble? Have no fear. Bill Shuford Heated and Air Conditioning is here, and they service all makes and models. Just call 704-484-0025. Bill Shuford Heated and Air has been Cleveland County's leader in home comfort since 1983, featuring American Standard heated and air conditioning systems. Visit them online at BillShufordHVAC.com. Bill Shuford Heated and Air, 213 Camel Street in Shelby. Ride today at Blanton Cars in Shelby, the new car alternative. Come on in today and ride today. Down payments start as low as $500. Come on in for all the details and check out the huge selection of late model cars, trucks, SUVs, and more. Shop online at BlantonCars.com. Ride today at Blanton Cars in Shelby, the new car alternative. Visit the locations today, 325 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby and at 1711 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Blanton Cars in Shelby. I'm Calvin Hastings for Renato Auto Mall Smart Service. What smart service, you say? Smart service is, to put it simple, speed, quality, and competitive pricing. Renato Auto Mall has brought back many of the old-time quality procedures and added some more. You get fast service oil changes, plus tire rotation, plus lube, and then they'll clean your glass and give your car a wash, all while you wait. Now that's smart service, speed, quality, and competitive pricing at Renato Auto Mall, where you get service at a high level of efficiency and speed. Located at 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
We're here because your mother doesn't trust anyone else. Your daughter just got her license. Your son needs a dependable car for school. Or maybe you just appreciate honesty, which is exactly what you get at Classic Ford of Shelby. Whether shopping for one of our 200 new Fords in stock or one of our quality pre-owned vehicles starting as low as $3,000, you get honest service at a hometown price. Welcome to our family. Classic Ford of Shelby, the hometown store that gives you more.
Former club members Denzel Washington and Jennifer Lopez for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future.
You can change a child's future. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
You can open doors for children to have great futures at the Boys and Girls Club of Cleveland County. Visit us at 412 West Sumter Street or at greatfutures.org.
All right, we got to go to NBA and talk about these trades, but I found my notes for baseball.
Wait, you mean talk about these trades or trades that won't happen?
Well, let's pretend trades.
Okay, pretend.
All right, real quick though, I do want to
Ooh.
give some counting number stats for Carson and Mike Trout here. Real quick, in 7 years, let's go. He's played 7 years, right? Pujols played 11 in St. Louis. So I'm gonna go. What I did, I went out. I can give you all this later, but there's just a couple little quick notes. So if you did it on pace. So Trout is on pace for 336 doubles. 336 doubles, right? That's in 11 years. He's played 7. That's an 11-year pace. Pujols in 11 years in St. Louis, 639 doubles. That's 300. That's almost double what Trout will have if he keeps up the same pace he's played right now. On an 11-year pace, he's on pace for 377 home runs. Pujols, in 11 years in St. Louis, 630 home runs. Pujols, 1,900 RBIs. Trout's on pace for 1,000 RBIs. Like the walks. How about Trout's on pace for 1,089 walks? Pujols had 1,200 walks. Now dang it, I didn't do the pace on that one. That was the fun one. The strikeout pace. In 11 years, Pujols had 1,200 strikeouts. Trout's got 1,000 already in 7 years. I wish I did the math on that. I don't know why I didn't. I did it on everything else. Those are on pace numbers. Those aren't actual numbers, but just some counting numbers on the Trout thing. Trout's led the league in runs 4 times, RBIs once, stolen bases once, walks 3 times, on base percentage 3 times, slugging twice, total bases once, and strikeouts once. Pujols in St. Louis led the league in hits 5 times, doubles once, home runs once, RBIs twice. No, home runs twice, RBIs once, batting average once. Trout was not led in batting average. On base percentage, Pujols once, slugging percentage 3 times, and total bases 4 times. 330 seasons, Trout 0, Pujols 5. 40 double seasons, Trout 0, Pujols 6. 40 home run seasons, Trout 1, Pujols 5. 100 RBI seasons, Trout 2, Pujols 10. Angel Albert has had 400 RBI seasons while batting behind Trout. Guy batting in front of him, so he gets to knock him in. 100 walks seasons, Trout 3, Pujols 3. 100 strikeout seasons, Trout 6, Pujols 0. 200 hit seasons, Trout 0, Pujols 1. Gold gloves, Trout 0, Pujols 1. So, I'm not saying Max Trout's bad. Back to the Mariano Rivera thing. Pujols is really good.
Well, all those stats were offensive.
Gold gloves.
Yeah, no, you got the gold glove, but yeah, think about the competition you have in the outfield for a gold glove versus the competition you have at first base, and think about the defensive importance of a center fielder versus a first base.
Do they give them left field, center field, right field, or just
outfield? It's 3 outfield.
So he's got 3 chances to make it. Pujols has got 1.
Well, it could be 3 center fielders. That's right? The thing. It could be 3 better defensive center fielders.
Who's a better defensive player? The guy who can play center field, left field, and right field, or the guy who can play left field, right field, third base, shortstop, first base, and has won a Gold Glove?
When's the last time Albert Pujols played anything other than first base?
That's not the question. He's played them in Major League Baseball. He's played left field, right field, third base.
When's the last time
he played 5 seasons at third. He played shortstop for a game against the Atlanta Braves. Well, you call me when Mike Trout plays shortstop. That's all I'm asking. Guys, back to the baseball thing. A guy who can catch a ground ball is better than a guy who can catch a fly ball at baseball.
All right. I want to put it to you like this. I sent a total Yankee man. He's up one side and down the other one. And this is how I put it to him. Who is better, Rivera or Jeter?
That's not the question.
I know, that's not what we got to. And he says, well, what are you saying? I said, total for career. Jeter could have someone else, or Rivera, same question. Which one would be you would go with if you had to take
I'm sure Terry worded it exactly like I wanted it worded, didn't
well, I'm going to tell you, here's what he put down. This is what he sent me back. I don't think the Yankees would not have been successful, nor having neither one of them. Now, he did put that. Jeter is the only Yankee with 3,000 hits, and Rivera leads in total saves. He also put, if I drafted, I would take Rivera first. So there you go. He'd take the guy who's going to go out there and win 1 out of every 4 games.
Now,
He'd take that guy.
So, best shortstop of all time. That's the question. If you're going to say Rivera, then would you take Rivera over the best shortstop ever? That's the A-Rod.
I wouldn't do that.
If you're who's the best shortstop then?
I mean, that's tough. I mean,
Jeter. At what level is Jeter on that top? Whatever. Because if you're saying you're taking Mo over Jeter, then you've got a list of shortstops.
I think
what you're saying is you're taking that closer.
I think there's
shortstop.
at least 5 shortstops that are better than Derek Jeter.
I think there's a lot, but I'm.
At least, no, I'm saying there's at least 5 shortstops that are better than Derek Jeter. And yeah, if I can pick the best shortstop ever, I'll take him over Mariano Rivera. But and I'm not saying Derek Jeter's bad. He's like you said, he's the only Yankee with 3,000 hits.
The only.
That's
Yankee.
impressive.
Think of that.
Yeah, exactly. Think about
Yankee.
that. That's the only, and he's the only Yankee to play with him like over 20 seasons, and he's got a lot of different things. And I'm not saying Derek Jeter's not important. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Fame player.
And thinking about what you just got through saying, think about all the money that they've had to go get whoever they wanted, and Derek Jeter's the only guy on this whole team
ever
with 3,000 hits.
Yeah.
Is that as a Yankee? Is that what
yeah,
you're saying?
as a Yankee.
Okay. Well, that's
as a Yankee.
You got to play a long
anything.
time to get 3,000 hits for one team. I mean,
well, the Yankees have had really good players for a really long time, and they like I say, Jeter's the only one with 3,000 hits.
Ricky Henderson didn't get 3,000 hits.
As a Yankee.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to play as a Yankee.
Ricky Henderson played until he was
I know, but Terry's point was they keep bringing all these guys, but they only come in for 2 or 3 years. I was getting 3,000 hits in 3 years.
About it. Derek Jeter, think about, okay, yeah, well, the Yankees have only really spent money like that since, what, the 70s when Steinbrenner came in.
Yep.
Think about all the guys they had before that. You have Mickey Mantle, you have Joe DiMaggio, you have Lou Gehrig.
That were true Yankees.
That were Yankees their whole career.
Yeah.
And they didn't get 3,000 hits. So, I mean, it's not like it's just the spending money Yankees that nobody had 3,000 hits. It's the entirety of the franchise.
How many seasons did Jeter play?
20? 1920?
Was it 20?
I want to think so, something like that.
Gehrig played 17 seasons. He was 270 hits shy of 3,000. So if he played 20 years, he'd have got 3,000 hits.
Except the whole Lou Gehrig's disease thing. But
and that too. So let's. But before we crown Jeter the greatest hitter in Yankee history because he had 3,000 hits because he was there for a long time.
We're not saying he's the best hitter, but that's saying something. Is you're the
he
only
was good enough not to get fired by George Steinbrenner for 20 years. I'll give him that credit.
Yeah.
Is that? Is that?
I guess. I guess.
All right, NBA Hunter. There has been a trade to the Dallas Mavericks.
Yes.
Porzingis, the unicorn, is coming to a team with
the Euro Mavs.
What are y'all trying to do? Can I ask you that?
Hold on. He's coming to a team with Kareem Abdul-Doncic. Oh, my Lord. I didn't give him that nickname. DeAndre Jordan gave him that.
DeAndre Jordan gave it to him and got shipped out.
They got traded.
That's either that sounded like some Bill Walton.
Yeah, they do. And Dallas is starting to turn the phase.
He threw a hook shot against the Hornets. J.J. Barrera in front of us reporters said, "Let's talk about the hook shot, Luka." And he's like, "JJ taught me everything I know." And he's like, "I didn't." No, and he's like, "No, I didn't teach you no hook shot." And DJ's like, "I taught him the hook shot." And he's like, "No, I learned dunking from DJ." And he calls him. He goes, "Yes, let's call DJ Kareem Abdullah-Doncic." So it was just funny back and forth. Now Barrea's hurt out for the season. DeAndre got shipped out. DeAndre's on an expiring contract. Remember, he stabbed Cuban in the back a few years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure did he stab him in the back or get locked in a room?
Same thing. He agreed to a contract with the Mavericks, and then Chris Paul basically threatened him, I would guess. If you got locked in a room with Chris Paul
and Blake Griffin and Doc Rivers,
and he's known for hitting people below the belt, I would say that.
Wait, are we talking about Draymond?
No, yeah, him too. Him and Chris Paul. Terry's all balls team.
Gotta have a leader. I don't care what team you own. You gotta have a leader.
I don't care where you kick them.
That's it.
This trade, obviously, it's not a bad move at all for Dallas if Porzingis can come off this ACL for.
That just totally hurt Dallas. I'm just wait and see.
How? Dennis Smith wasn't doing anything for you.
Dennis Smith.
You
just
now started to
2.0.
change that you were having an up and coming season with him. Just now getting there.
He played last
he hasn't played. He's been away from the team because he's not the star that he wanted to be.
You saying Dallas is losing out on Dennis Smith?
I mean, what did Dallas gain from this? You got another guy to go under. Oh, okay,
you got Courtney
better
Lee.
have somebody to give it to him.
You got Courtney Lee.
Terry, have you watched Luka Doncic play?
Have you watched Dennis Smith Jr. play? Russell 2.0.
He's
That's
Westbrook
not a
Light.
passing
Okay,
point guard.
if he turns into be Russell, buddy, he's one of the top athletes in the NBA.
I know, but that's
he
not
is,
a
but that's
championship
not.
winning point guard.
He's not. Yeah, and
It's
now
not. There's no. That's a shooting
Dallas
guard
don't
wanting
have
to be
nothing
a point
to win a
guard.
championship by this trade.
What do you mean?
Time out. Back up. Time out. Terry, there's only like 2 teams that have enough to win a championship.
Well, I know that.
So
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm trying to figure out. They keep saying
let's yell at them
that.
because they can't win anyway.
Well, they keep setting back. I heard the other day they said, okay, now Dallas is set up when Golden State finally falls down. I'm like, that's never going to happen.
that could be this year.
But no, nobody's
It could
going to
be.
Dallas, y'all.
Oh, I'm not saying that anybody's going to Dallas.
Yeah, there's a problem.
But I'm saying, you hear everybody on the Warriors say, over the past couple years, it's not as easy as David West came out and said it's not as easy and it's not as perfect as people think it is
No,
in
I
that
agree.
locker room. And you talk about the Knicks opened up. They have space for 2 max contracts now, and that's what they're going. They're trying to tank and get Zion, and then pick up what they're going to probably go after is Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
We're going to break that down in a second. We got Coach Harold Cherryville on the phone last night. Carson and Hunter were here listening to most of that and doing the scores and the post-game show last night, and went over some of that. We had the standings and everything. And then we've got I was over at Shelby last night. So Coach Harold and the game win last night. Another big game last night for Lane. 37 points. And how many
14 rebounds.
14 boards. Is that official, Coach?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations on you guys. Big win. And Lane, tell us a little bit about the game last night, how it went.
Well, we got out to a fast start with our point guard, Levante. He's done an excellent job all year. He continued that with being kind of the floor general there. He had 12 assists and got a lot of people involved. And, Lane had 37, like you said, but we had some other balanced scoring. Justin Alexander, a junior, he had 21 points. And our post player, Nathan Jeffers, was dialed in for his little 15-foot jumper that he likes to take, and he had 17 points. So good balance, and we was able to push that lead up to about 20 and then keep it there for a while.
Well, Coach, I'm going to ask you a question. A lot of times when I look at stats and from being a coach myself, on the other end of it, I always say, how did you do? Did you hit your layups? Did you hit your free throws? And from the free throw line, y'all were 18 out of 19. And when your team's going there and another team fouls you, nobody's going to catch you as long as you're knocking them free throws down.
That is correct. We were making free throws last night. Lane was 11 for 11, and then as a team, we were 18 for 19. You don't get many of those nights that you only miss one free throw.
Coach, trying to look at pull the standings up here for you. Let's see. Are those updates y'all from last night? Or those before? That's before.
That was before.
That's before, yeah.
All right. So you guys now, I got you guys at 16-4, 4-2 over on the conference, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And you got going after Lincoln Charter. You got a few games left here, headed before the playoffs. Or tell us a little bit about conference tournament, so everybody can kind of get an idea on what to do about that.
2 more weeks on regular season, and then the conference tournament. We were a 16 conference, so 1 and 2 gets a bye in the conference tournament. So that'd be important if you can move up there in the first or second place and get that first round bye. That pretty much you'd hope for sure you have a home playoff game as well.
Are you going to have?
But we got a tough game going Tuesday at Bessemer City.
Are you going to have? Let's say how is that tournament going to set up? Is that going to be all home and home? Is there any neutral sites on any of that?
No, that'd be in our conference. That'd be at the higher seed. So the 1 seed of the boys would host the championship night, but the other games would be at higher seed.
Okay, that's a lot of questions that we getting on each conference. Everyone's different. Like I said, you got the 6 teams, you got 7 teams, 8 teams, and all that. You got the Yellow Jackets coming up next week. Had a nice little battle last time, and we'll hope to. I guess we might have you on the radio again this time. Is that a Tuesday or Friday night game?
That's Tuesday.
That's Tuesday, so we probably will miss you on that. So,
and then we'll be senior night at home next Friday, and I think Danny and Milton had said they'll be there next Friday.
Yeah, they'll definitely be there next Friday night at home for that. And that's who do you got that night?
Highland Tech.
Highland Tech. So senior night at Cherryville next Friday night. Danny and Milton, of course, will be there. Coach Harold will be there as well. And congratulations. What you got planned this weekend?
Well, we're on our way to Milligan College right now up in Tennessee on a visit. Just going to enjoy some family time and watch college basketball games.
Do you know the mascot for Milligan College?
No, you better tell me that before I get there.
I don't know. Quick, y'all do a quick search. We had a fun talk last night about the name of the Hunter Huss Husky. The Cherry Lineman mascot don't actually have a name, or does he? That I know of.
No.
I didn't think so too. I told him I didn't think he does. And I don't think the Yellow Jacket does either. They were wondering if any of these mascots actually names. You ought to be careful going up there through the mountains. Is it any ice and snow up through there? They're the Buffaloes, Coach.
The Buffaloes, that's what they are. I've seen them on Twitter now that you say that. They are the Buffaloes.
All right,
I don't think there'll be any snow. It's supposed to be about 60 degrees up here this afternoon.
Oh, goodness. Well, that's going to be a nice day then.
Should be a nice day. That's correct. We go up through Banner Elk, might see some snow up that way, but should be fine on the travel there. Just enjoying the time with Lane and getting to travel around and see some college games, and hopefully he can stay healthy and hopefully have that opportunity one day.
Well, did you bring? Last question. Did you bring your fishing rods?
No, I left the fishing rods at home today.
Okay. I don't know if he's
would
going
like to trout fish. Trevor, my other son, that's the big fisherman. So.
Yeah. Have you ever been up there near the dams up there on the Tennessee rivers and any of that?
I have. It's very nice up there.
Those are fun pulling in some of those big fish up there and doing that. Well, y'all guys be careful. Congratulations and good luck Tuesday against Bessemer City. And then, folks, we got senior night next Friday night. Cherryville Lineman basketball. Coach Harold in the game.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And congratulations to Coach Shane. I know he listens to the radio a lot over there at West Lincoln on his retirement. What an awesome coaching career he had, and well respected in our area.
Well, thank you, Coach. Yep, he had maybe one of the best seasons ever at West Lincoln, right there.
Yeah, most wins ever, 9-3.
Well, Coach, be careful. Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the coverage, guys.
All right, that's Coach Scott Harrell and the Cherryville Lineman basketball team. They're 4-2 overall. I mean, that's the girls. Let me look to my right.
There it is.
The boys are 4-2 in the conference and 16-4 overall. The girls are. Did they win last night, girls?
Yeah, they did. 46.
Girls are 4-2 in the conference as well. Then they're 9-11 in the conference, and you got to see Andre's niece, Terry. You talking about basketball players you'd like to watch? As a game, I think it was last week. She had 2 points, 24 rebounds.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah,
boy.
You gotta have them.
Hey,
well,
stat line.
Whatever your role is, do it well.
Yeah.
Know
your role.
Dennis Rodman asked him.
And hey, every time I've ever played a pickup game, I've always found one person on my team that I tell him, "Your job is to get my rebounds and kick it back to me." Right? You gotta have one of those, right, Terry?
You do.
Hey, well,
I don't think I've ever told anybody that when I've been playing.
You've never told anybody that?
No.
About every dang time
I've always had somebody look at me and say, "Just go find a spot."
Here's how it usually goes.
Yeah.
Here's how it usually goes. Once you throw a good pass or two to the big man and they blow a layup or a bunny, then I start talking trash to the big man about getting my rebounds because you got your chance. Now it's time to shoot.
Right.
You got to feed them early, Terry. I try.
Yeah.
You feed the big dog early, and if he can eat, you keep feeding him. But if he can't eat, you tell his butt to get in there and work.
You both work together. I know how that goes, guys.
Get my. Dustin. He told a guy on the teammate one time. He told him to shoot too much. He said, "You just need to shut up and rebound my misses."
Yeah. I know when I played with Johnny Hem's always told me, he said, "I'll take care of the inside, you just hunt a spot." That's it.
That's the complete opposite of what I say.
Yeah,
I'll take care of everything else.
Man
Y'all just go get my rebound.
My big man tagging wiring them out.
No, that sliver of window, I saw a deer walk right back there.
Really?
Yes, right now. There's another one. Yeah, right there.
Oh, I got deer.
I got
Look
deer.
at that. Oh dear, we have deer.
Oh dear, we have deer. I see 4.
4. I saw 1. That's a flock.
Oh my God! Something's wrong with his glasses.
It's 5 deer. Not 6.
See?
A flock of deer.
What I was gonna say. What do you call a collection
Terry,
of
you know
deer?
that?
There you go.
Is it a gaggle?
I just call it 5 deer.
A school of deer.
Is it deer or deers? And
deer.
If it is,
there's no S.
Okay, then is it beer or beers? Do I
Beers,
drink 12 beer or 12 beers?
Well, 12
that's been
beers,
the question in college for and they've never solved it. We have all these institutions.
I don't think you've
in
ever
America.
asked it
How
sober.
many did you drink?
Either,
12 beer,
Nope.
You don't say beers.
That's what I'm saying. Is it? Do I drink 37 beers or 37 beer?
37 beer. That's how many I had.
God, what kind of Frankenstein English do they speak in Vail?
What has happened this morning? What is happening?
How do y'all say it in
I'm trying to figure out how we got from
stop,
Coach Hale to beer.
Stop.
Oh
Finish
my
your
God.
biscuit.
Next thing you know, daggum Star Wars will be in this program.
So
Much sooner than you still have to eat.
well, that's always been the quintessential college question. So generally, a group of deer is a herd.
A herd. That makes sense.
But more familiar groups.
God dang it. Carson said, what do you call it, a school of deer?
Flock. School. Vultures are called a committee. Is that not ironic?
You know what a
group of vultures is called a committee.
You know what a group of crows is called?
What?
A murder.
A murder of crows.
Well, I mean, if you look
That's
out
pretty
there,
good.
it was
That's
a bunch.
awesome.
What's a bunch?
Well, see, I used
Three
to,
or more?
I used to have
Alright.
this argument with my mother. Is I would say a couple, and I would mean like 3 or 4, and she'd be like, no, a couple means two.
Two.
And I'm like, Mom, you're
Couple,
semantics.
Well, and I'm sure she was like, Carson, English.
Oh God, no! My mother, she's probably, well, I don't know if she's listening right now, but she is the world's, like, she is the reason I know how to talk and articulate, because as a kid,
Have you been corrected, Carson?
Yeah. Oh man, she was quick. I mean, normally you might let your kid say something wrong. Oh man, it's cute. They're saying it wrong. My mom, no, you're gonna say it. This is how we say it. And I'm like, oh God, Mom, I'm sorry. I'm 6 years. I'm 6 years old. I'm doing the best I can.
He's got a flashback right
See?
now.
I did.
He's struggling. Are you okay?
I'm
Who
all
hurt
right.
you?
It's like PTSD.
Who hurt you? Like, it's okay. It's okay, Carson. It's okay. You can say things wrong in here. It's okay.
I can't, Hunter.
All right, so here's a question we got. Looking at the trades, Anthony Davis and here.
Yeah, you saw what his dad said?
I love
about
it.
No, I didn't see what.
His
Yeah,
dad
I saw.
Basically said he doesn't want Anthony Davis to go to Boston because he saw what they did to Isaiah Thomas.
I didn't know if there's any more to that. I did see that part.
Come on, Dad. It's a business.
Terry.
Dang.
Y'all
I mean,
messed,
take
y'all
your
messed
man.
up.
Take no.
You're
no,
right.
no.
Well, that's
He's a
what
business
happens.
and y'all messed
Go
up.
ahead, buddy. Take your man
That's
somewhere
what
else. He can
happens-
go to L.A. and they're not going to win a championship.
That's what
with
happens
him
when
there.
you ask a parent. A parent is going to give a very parent-like response
Yeah.
and tell me that's not a parent response. I don't want them to do that to my son.
So
Like, you can't blame him, but at the same time, why are you
They're
asking
going
his
to do it
dad?
to him anyways.
Yeah.
You know he's
What do
only
you
gonna
what do
be
you
there
get
for the rest of the
what do you
season.
get out of asking his dad that question?
Let's talk irony / not awake to the situation. So Anthony Davis, part of this is that he wants to play for a winning franchise, a chance to win a championship.
The Lakers.
No, let's back this up.
Okay, they haven't won in a while.
That's what he meant, Hunter.
You
You're
know,
100%.
that is what he said.
said
Wherever he goes, it's a
he wants to
stopgap
go to a
'cause he's going to
chance.
the Lakers.
He said he wants a chance to win the championship. Now, with that said, did the Lakers make playoffs last year? No. Last year, did Anthony Davis win a playoff series?
Yeah.
Did he sweep a team?
Yeah.
He swept a first-round playoff series, and his comment
I
is,
forgot who it
I want to
was.
go
Was it the
somewhere where we
Thunder
can win.
He also had a quote where he came out and said, I've given the team in this city my all. You have a year and a half left. You have not given them your all.
I mean,
Like, I don't have a problem.
You can't stay healthy.
I don't have
Your
a
biggest
problem.
knock has been that you've been an injury prone.
You think this is all his agent? In fact, they've got something arranged where there's another guy coming next year to where they have to get this done now for the cap space
I
for next
think
year.
there's a lot of weird moving parts to this because, Rich Paul is his
Kyrie.
agent. Rich Paul
I think it's 100% Rich Paul.
Rich Paul is LeBron's agent, which
That's why.
LeBron owns the agency. He owns Clutch Sports. And I mean, that's the thing.
He's
is
the
like,
agent of other players.
and-
How is
and-
that allowed?
And how
I
do you deter this? Because they fined Anthony Davis $50,000.
They should have.
That's less than a game. That's like.
Well, they still should
That's
have.
nothing.
They
to
should
him.
have. It should have been 200,000
Yeah.
or 500,000 or
nothing to
something.
him.
Yeah, but you know why
It's
they
nothing.
did a $50,000 fine? Because they were like, you know what, this is actually going to be good. Just here.
But what they have to do,
Don't put it out there in the. out there
they
anymore.
can't in their rules. They can't fine people by how much they make. So
Yeah.
if they fine him
it's a flat rate.
50,000, and the 13th player on the bench does the same thing, he
They
can't
get
be
fined
fined
the same,
2 million or something. So it's not. That's really what that is, folks. You can't just hate on, I guess, that much. You really want to
Look,
because 50 is
Anthony
bad. but-
Davis is a fantastic talent, but I don't think he's going to be what LeBron thinks he'll be for the Lakers.
That's the other thing is think about all the other bigs that LeBron has got. He's got Chris Bosh and he traded for Kevin Love, and those guys turned into stretch fours, to be honest. And Anthony Davis, he needs He needs the post, whether it's low post or high post. He needs to be able to camp out down there.
He can
and
shoot
LeBron,
threes, but
LeBron needs to have an open lane to the basket. And so when you need LeBron to have an open lane to the basket, what do you do with your power forward or your center? You move them out. Yeah, you put them in the corner. And Anthony Davis can shoot, but that's not the strength of his game.
No, and he's not as a consistent three-point shooter as Boogie Cousins is.
Oh no. And I mean, there's a lot of things. And if I think, you get Anthony Davis and Kyrie are tight. You saw what LeBron did. He put, that song up, and he straight up tagged Kyrie Irving.
Think they're going to New York?
I'm going to be honest.
No.
I am sick and tired of LeBron James meddling in everything. At the end of the day, Adam Silver's not the commissioner of the NBA. It's LeBron James.
Yeah.
LeBron James can do whatever he wants. It's like it's the National LeBron James Basketball Association.
Well,
that's what it is at the end of the day. If LeBron wants you, guess what? He's going to get you.
All I got to do is tell the Lakers, if you're going to go get Anthony
Magic
Davis,
Johnson's not
then
making
you are giving up Ingram. You are giving up a lot of players who come there that could end up being talent that you're going to let go. You're not going to get Anthony Davis for nothing.
I think this has got the list of the
Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Rajon Rondo, and Michael Beasley.
Who in the world wants Lonzo?
And a first-round
pick.
Who
wants him? Yeah, Lonzo. I mean, nobody
I don't
wants
know.
the ball
first
kid.
round.
I don't know why you. First off, I don't know why you would want Lonzo Ball and Rajon Rondo because they're basically the same player.
Yeah. Well,
one is just 6'5",
and they got Drew Holiday anyways.
There's not even comparison.
I would take Lonzo, but not
what?
Rondo.
Yeah. No, Rondo's the better player.
I would rather take Rondo.
That's exactly right.
Well,
Rondo is the better player.
Let me get where I'm saying is if you're wanting to take young talent, because like I said, Rondo's not getting younger. Lonzo's still young and can develop. Kuzma, who I'm surprised is even they put on the trading block. He's the only one out there that scores consistently.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, in all seriousness, the Pelicans weren't like, well, you better throw Mr. Brandon Ingram in there.
Oh, I think he'll be part of the deal. I don't think nobody's going to go there
they
unless
turned
they give
down
him
the
up.
first deal. They've turned down the
Ingram
first
and
deal.
Kuzma play the same position as LeBron.
They do.
I mean, think about it. He went to a team that's already got all these small forwards and point guards, and that's what he does.
And
so the whole roster has to be changed
and
over.
Magic Johnson has got to be careful about this because you're going to put
They're
all your
chess
eggs.
pieces. All those people aren't players.
They're all going to come in here.
They don't
okay, you're going to bring these people in, and if any of them decide to leave, you're back to being the sorry Lakers.
I got two things
because you're not developing
Lonzo
anybody
Ball.
for longevity for the team. It's just win for the next 2 years and pray to God nobody leaves.
I had someone tell me that Lonzo Ball is going to be better than Anthony Davis.
Oh, there's no way. My
Who said
Lord,
that?
I can't tell. I'm not going to tell
There's
you.
no way.
Someone told me that Lonzo
right
Ball.
now.
No,
That's blasphemous.
Because I even tried
told
to
him to
tell
quit
people
talking.
when we first come in here that when Rondo went there that he's the better guard. You need to take Ball and get rid of him at that point
I
if you
think
want Rondo
Lonzo
to run.
Ball can be a good player. Now, I'm not going to say he could be the best point guard in the league. There's no way.
Because think about it, not like you, Kuzma's the best player they got when LeBron's not on the
court. Yeah. He is the most consistent scorer they have. What you're basically doing here is you're trading away. If you were the Pelicans and you took this deal, you would be trading away a guy that can get you 35 a night, 15 boards, and 4 blocks for a player essentially in Ball who can get you
9, 8, and 7.
And 6 or 7
look
turnovers.
Look at what they're highlighted at. He'll get you the 8 assists. Kuzma can come in here and score you 20.
Yeah.
He can score you 20.
He can drop 20, yeah.
And Rondo can add another 9 assists.
No, I know what the Lakers are setting back. They are got in their deal that Klay Thompson's going to leave Golden State and come to them. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think it is because I think Golden State will match anything.
Well, not even that. I feel like Klay Thompson knows his role. He knows that he's in the best spot for him.
Well, let me ask you. I want to ask you two of these guys
Davis
real quick.
Doesn't quite know what it's like to play with LeBron.
I don't
Nobody
think he
does
realizes how much his role is going to be diminished.
I want to ask you two guys real quick on the Warriors situation. They're talking this Knicks thing. The big names are
Kevin.
It's Durant and
Irving
and Kimba. They keep saying.
No,
I've heard
I feel like
Kyrie.
Kimba's the third. It's KD, Kyrie, and
I think
then
Kyrie
Kimba.
wants to be back in the Lakers. but I think Kyrie will go to the Knicks if they can't make it out. I think Kemba's when you're
He's
saying.
from-
I think
he's
it's
from New
I think
Jersey,
that's I think that's what's going to happen.
I feel like Kemba's
Kyrie
their
to the Lakers,
fallback,
yes. If Kyrie's on the Knicks, Kemba's going to stay. But I think if Kyrie ends up in the Lakers, I think Kemba's going to end up in the Knicks. Now,
I really hope not.
I don't either. But if you're Kevin Durant, I want to see what y'all's answers would be.
Okay.
If you're Kevin Durant or Klay Thompson, why would you leave the Warriors for any reason when you can make more money with the Warriors and win championships with the Warriors?
If people forget the Warriors are so smart moving people to make cap space up, you can get paid. You can get paid.
Would you? Why would you personally move? Would you
reason.
personally move?
Unless you promise me a max deal.
I wouldn't, but the only reason I can imagine that Kevin Durant would want to do that would be to win a championship for the Knicks, and they haven't won one since.
Why would he care about the Knicks? You know,
I'm not saying he necessarily.
That's what's weird about it for me. Like,
I'm not saying he necessarily cares about the Knicks. I think that he wants.
He just wants to be that stardom.
Yeah, he wants to be like he wants that to
that.
be some part of his legacy. Is the first win for the Knicks since they had Wilt Frazier.
I was going to say the reason one of those might leave would be because of the poor leadership on the Warriors. Number 23 on the Warriors.
Well, he's a free agent after next season, and he apparently wants that Superman.
If you're the Warriors, would you rather give DeMarcus Cousins $100 million or Draymond Green $100 million?
Well, depends on how DeMarcus Cousins plays.
I think he's
the rest of the year. But I mean, if that's in all seriousness, close your eyes. DeMarcus, like healthy DeMarcus Cousins, healthy Draymond. Who you giving $100 million to? I'm giving it to DeMarcus Cousins.
It's not even close.
It's not even close. It's really
Terry,
not.
not
and DeMarcus Cousins has got just as much of an attitude as Draymond does.
Who would you trade on Boston for Draymond Green?
Marcus Smart.
You got right now. You're the GM. You're Danny Ainge, Terry. You can trade. You can make the trade today.
Yeah, it's like
Golden State says we want to keep Durant, Thompson, everybody together. We're giving up Draymond. Who you giving up for Draymond Green?
Marcus.
Probably nobody right now. I mean, I'm just being
You
honest.
just told me the most. You've been telling us the most valuable player on this championship team for the past few years, and you wouldn't give up a single Celtic.
No,
for
because
Draymond
we
Green.
got a Draymond on our team.
What would you give up for Anthony Davis?
Is a little Draymond,
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Marcus Smart, yeah.
He's our Draymond.
That's exactly what he is.
Just match it.
Does he get about 7 points a game? Is that what he does?
Basically, but he's going to play defense. He's going to be all in somebody's face.
If you were Boston, you were Danny Ainge. Who would you be trying to give up for Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis?
Yes. Who would you? Because you right now
they don't want to go there. I don't think it's even a thing.
I don't think they're
I
going
would help him
Who
out.
would you give up for Anthony
I would
Davis?
help him out. Because see, Anthony Davis.
I'd send him Kyrie and just piss everybody off.
Well, that's what I would want to do, but you couldn't do that because then he wouldn't come to Boston. That wouldn't be in no trade.
That's part of it.
He don't have a choice. He's got a 1 year and a half contract.
Yeah, I was about to say
he's
going
coming
to
Boston.
Yeah.
I
mean,
if they trade him, he's coming to Boston. That just means he won't sign with you. You get him for 2 years.
We'll give you Hayward. But now we're going to have to give some more than Hayward, though.
I was going to say, because what
we're going to have to give up 2 or 3 players plus a first round to get him.
Boston's problem is just they're congested.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Just congested.
We're too good.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going to say it record-wise, but we're too good, and it goes into the locker room.
Yes, too talented.
Yeah, that's where our problem
have too
comes
much
from.
talent that you, and I know it sounds crazy, you have too much talent you don't know what to do with.
You have too much talent, not enough ball, not enough time on the floor.
Yeah,
I agree.
Basically, there's only so many minutes in an NBA game,
and it wouldn't hurt obviously to move some of those pieces. Might actually make them happier. If they want to go and play. I don't see why they don't try and strike a deal with the Knicks.
And see, I don't want us to sit back and do something stupid like give up Rozier and give up Brown to somebody else, and then us not get anything back to make up a difference. Because we're giving up young talent that's going to get better.
That's where I think the Lakers.
Terry, let me give you,
especially not Tatum. I mean, it would be stupid to go there.
Let me give you a comparison. Me and Hunter talked about this last night. I think if you trade Jaylen Brown would be like trading James Harden when they traded him from the Thunder, because that's the guy. When he's basically a third wheel right now. He is not even a top 2 option. But if he goes somewhere else, he's really good.
Yes.
And he's really aggressive, and he can do a lot of different things.
He can go out there and average 25.
He can go drop 25 and probably shoot 45, 35, and 80. That's for a slash line.
The game before this one, when Kyrie did not play, and I can't remember who we played, but not last night's game because Kyrie played, but the game before, It was Rozier and Brown and all the guys who won it last year. We had no trouble.
And that's we were
We
watching.
run away.
We were watching the
watched it
Knicks
last
Celtics game last night, and when you had Terry Rozier and Jaylen Brown in there, it was a much. It was
Yeah, and
it was
Tatum,
way more up tempo.
so young.
And
I
they
want
were
y'all
they
to
were able
go back
answer.
to about November, October. Rewatch one of the shows where I said Terry and Kyrie and Hayward get on that court together. This team
I
made
knew
a
it was-
finals.
I think we all
it's
agree.
It's
No,
gonna
yeah.
throw a wrench in there.
I think we all thought that.
So we can't.
Yeah.
Kyrie's gonna be a huge problem in the
He's so ball dominant.
and the and it's about him. And they made it last year without him. They've got $50 million between him and Hayward right now, and they didn't need him.
I
So
agree.
there's no. I don't see why you would keep either one of those two. Those two would be
That's
shipped
what I've
out
been
so
saying
quick
every
right
time.
now.
If I had to keep one
I'd
of
send
them, it'd
them-
be Kyrie,
I'd
but
send
I'd
them-
get rid of one of them.
I'd send them both to New Orleans, and then do the math on that, and then Anthony Davis would be like, "Look, I don't care if you don't want to be here or not for a year. We made the finals last year.
Yeah.
Join our team.
But you
Let's
know
go
what
play."
we're going to do? We're going to sit here, and I have to say on the other end of this, Hayward sits back and never says nothing. So that's the guy that we'll end up keeping, and we'll get rid of Kyrie
Hayward
because
is gonna
he's the
be
one
there
that's saying
because
something in the locker room.
Hayward's going to be there because
About
him and
what's
Brad
happening.
Stevens are so close. Him and Brad Stevens are so close. That's basically a father-son relationship. It's in all seriousness. So it is. Kyrie has basically come out and said, "You're just going to have to wait and see what I do till July. Until then, you not a peep out of me." So to me, that's one.
But he
foot
is
out.
playing hard. He played
Oh,
hard
well,
last night.
I
The,
would-
the
I
thing
would
about it
hope
is they're
so.
both under contract, but the bad thing is it's $50 million.
I think the Celtics are going to have a better shot of making a deal in the offseason than right now.
Oh, yeah, we have to. That's already said
But
that.
this
We
is the
cannot make a
thing-
deal right now.
No.
This is
you
the
can't.
thing going to the Knicks, where they said that their front runners, of course, going to be Kevin, and then you said it's Kyrie and Kimba. Well, that's not championship formula basketball because those are both score first point guards.
And who's around the Knicks? Think about how many. What do they have? Like 5 point guards on that team right now?
We were watching them last night, and I literally, it was a joke. I said, "Who the heck are these guys?
Yeah.
Who are
Listen,
these guys?"
As long as Steph Curry and Kevin Durant are on the same basketball team, I don't think that anybody can beat that.
Yeah.
At any point for any reason. I'm gonna give you some numbers if you want to throw up your breakfast this morning. $24 million gets you 12 points and 5 rebounds. $17 million gets you 5 points and 5 rebounds. $14 million gets you 10 points and 6 rebounds. $13 million gets you 9 points and 6 rebounds, and $13 more million gets you 9 points and 6 rebounds. For 41, 55, 70, $81 million, you can get about 17, 30, 45 points. That's the Hornets. $24 million for Batum, $17 million for Biyombo. 5 points, 5 rebounds. Way to pitch in, bud. Thanks for joining the team. Marvin Williams getting 10 points and 6 rebounds at $14 million. Zeller, $13 million, 9 points and 6 rebounds. And MKG, 9 points, 6 rebounds. In the meantime, we're playing Kemba, $12 million for 25 points. Thanks, Kemba. You were doing awesome. The rest of you
And
are
I don't think it's going to hurt Kimba to go out there and get
terrible.
paid. It ain't going to hurt him.
Well, I'm gonna speak of.
Well, you get the most in Charlotte.
Kevin,
Yeah.
speaking of stuff like this, this goes all the way around, and it's amazing how any kind of sports, I'm going to say any kind that we play, has changed. From the time dadgum Babe Ruth made $50 million and the time you got to $100 million for a player in baseball, it took 20-some years. We have changed from Nolan Ryan making $1 million to 24 years later, guys making $30 and $40 million. And somewhere along the line, somebody's got to sit back and say, "What are we doing?" Because sports has
It
come.
goes up every year.
Yeah, I mean, but now it's just jumping tremendous of what we're paying a player to come and play.
I think
for us.
that's why Bryce Harper and Manny Machado haven't signed yet. Because Bryce Harper, last year came out and said, he didn't come out and say it, but Scott Boras basically put it out that he wants to be paid $400 million, and you can't say that and then follow it up with a 220 season.
Yeah,
where you strike out over
Sprain your
100,
ankle,
and
just think about the money involved in such a delicate thing.
And I want you to
like the
obviously
$400 million
people
in
can
one
say
person.
that. And obviously
There's
people
no
can say,
way,
"Oh, of course, like a human is priceless." But I'm gonna tell you what. You mean to tell me there's a kid on the streets out there that if you offered him a $2 million contract, there's a possibility he wouldn't play better than Kyrie Irving, who's making what? What's his contract right here? $26 million.
Biombo is getting $17 million for 5 points and 5 rebounds.
That's what I'm saying. And there's got to be a guy out there that might be his height. Okay, he just.
Oh, put it this way: if Tyler Hansbrough got those minutes, would he get 5 points and 5 rebounds?
No, he would.
Yes, he would. He's got better PER than Draymond.
I was gonna say
he's
he
got
would.
better
He would
everything
probably
than
play
Draymond.
and fight a lot harder.
If he gets 20, if he got the same minutes as Biombo, he's getting more than 5 boards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
that's kind of Hunter's point. I've been watching some of these some old videos and stuff on
deals
YouTube.
Are ridiculous.
So I was watching a Muggsy Bogues video on YouTube yesterday. It's kind of fun remembering some of that stuff. That showed some of the games I remember being at. They showed one when Jordan was he was wearing 45 when he came back. Remember that one? I remember being at that game. Rex Chapman was talking about him. So Rex, they did an extensive interview with Chapman. So he was kind of talking about Jordan, Muggsy, and everybody. But he was talking about when he was talking about Jordan. There was one game that he was doing good. The video is called "Don't Talk Smack to Michael Jordan." If you want to see some funny stuff, look at that. But Chapman was talking about he was scoring a lot, and then like they had a rule like don't let Michael dunk. And him and Michael were really good friends. Michael actually tried to get him to come to Chicago. He actually recruited him to North Carolina too. And so Rex is telling the story about they're good friends. And Michael went up to dunk, went baseline, and he grabbed him and wrapped him up. And Michael just spun around real quick like he wanted to kill somebody. And he saw his Rex. He said, "We were nose to nose." And he's like, "Man, don't do that to me." And he's like, "Man, I'm Michael. I can't let you dunk." He said, but the news story on the next day was Chapman drops 30 and talks smack to Michael Jordan. He said, "I was not talking smack to Michael Jordan." No. And there was one guy, I can't remember who it was, that had said something. Reggie Miller's is one of the funniest when he was talking to him. It was a rookie preseason game, and he had I think he said he had 10 on him at halftime, and Jordan had 2. And it was a preseason game. They just, Jordan's just going through the motions, and he said, Chuck Persons over here saying, "Get into him, Reggie. Talk junk to Michael. Just talk junk. Tell him he ain't nothing." So Reggie's like, "Okay." So I come out and hit my first shot in the second half, and I started talking junk. So I had 12 points and him too. He said Michael ended with 40 and me 12.
That's Michael.
He said I quit talking, but
that's why I can't put anybody over.
But I wanted to get on. But I wanted to get to the Muggsy.
Mentality.
Yeah,
thing,
it
man.
is. I wanted to get to the Muggsy part on what Rex was talking about, but I just wanted to mention the Michael part. It was funny.
Yeah.
But he was talking about Muggsy could guard anybody at his position, Terry, except 2 people. Can you name them?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Muggsy could guard anybody at his position in the NBA point guard except 2 people. Rex said there's only 2 people I had to switch over and guard, and I didn't do a good job either, so it was a waste of time.
What years was this?
Muggsy was 85 through 95, basically.
Magic.
You're just looking at that was one. So Chapman had to guard Magic.
Nah, they can match up.
Probably won't think of him in the later years. I would say I'll give you 96.
Penny?
96, no, and guard Penny. It was he said the problem was Gary Payton.
Huh?
Because Payton posted him up.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's bullied.
He backed him down. You remember Payton, like Terry?
Yeah.
Terry, if I said a defense, if I
talk junk to you while he's doing it.
If I said an offensive, I liked people. We talk about the greatest lineups or the greatest point guards and greatest people. I like to make the point like if I'm making a lineup, I'm gonna pick. So I got Jordan at the shooting guard, so I don't need Steph at point guard. I could rather have Magic, or what if I had? Let me give you this lineup, Terry. Because Barkley, this was his comments the other day. They're asking about the greatest power forwards. He says Barkley thinks he's better than everybody but Duncan. So he say if you got Duncan at forward, Kareem at center, Jordan, Durant. Tell me one reason why I wouldn't pick Gary Payton as my point guard in that group. Not Durant, Pippen at small forward. So you got the greatest power forward, Duncan. You can't basically guard him for Mr. Fundamental. You can't guard the hook shot in Kareem. Can't deal with Michael. And then on defense, you've got at the guards, Peyton, Michael, and Pippen shutting down everything on the perimeter. Would that not? People forget about Gary Payton.
Yeah, they do.
He made the finals.
His nickname was the Glove.
It's
a great nickname.
He was just him and Michael were very. If you watch them play defense, they look pretty much the same defensively. Michael was so much better offensively. But Peyton, like what Rex was saying, he would just take him into the post. Mark Jackson would try to do that too, but he wasn't as quick as Peyton. So Muggsy could work around Mark's dribble.
You always think of stuff like that, and you always say, who's the baddest guys? And every time you talk about guys that's in the NBA, a lot of times when they say, well, who would you want on your side if there's ever going to be a fight? And Oakley's name always comes up. They said, if I'm ever going to be somewhere, I want Oakley on my team. You know.
If Barkley says don't pick Shaq, he can't fight. That's Barkley said, "Oh, he don't care. He'll fight him right now. Shaq can't fight." Shaq
I love those two. They kill me.
No, and you know, and you speaking of that, you know, a lot of people though, like you said, would never pick Gary Payton. They would say no. I mean, I got somebody better than him.
Right.
But I mean,
competitively, I mean, he's in there.
Yeah, he was there,
But
and
that's
he
what
would
I'm saying.
talk
If you're,
to you.
I don't need a Steph if I've got Jordan on the floor, or even maybe even Kareem. So you kind of that's when people talk about the all-time Tar Heel, like we talk about the Tar Heel lineups, and everybody will say, "Well, I want Phil Ford at point guard." I personally, I never saw Phil play, but from the people that I've saw play at point guard, I think, and I don't care if Hunter agrees with me, I think Ty Lawson's the best point guard they've had.
No, I agree.
Overall. Now, with that said, if I'm putting together an all-Tar Heel team to go down the park and play, my point guard is going to be one of two people. It's going to be Ed Cota or Kenny Smith. It ain't going to be Phil Ford or Ty Lawson. It's going to be one of those two because I want someone to feed the other guys the ball. I want Kenny because he's in the park. He's going to be talking smack and running stuff.
Yeah.
I want Ed Cota or maybe even Kendall Marshall to throw Rashid and Vince and Jamison and Worthy.
He's got that backyard.
But you didn't see Cota. You've got to see. Tell about Cota. The pass. I've never seen passing like that. Marshall was very close. Marshall pushed the ball faster than Cota.
Yeah.
The lobs and the assists, the most beautiful passes I've ever seen.
Kendall Marshall. I still think we win a championship if he don't break his arm.
Derek Phelps. People say, I think we've had a couple point guards that have gotten hurt, but I would take the Cota in them to throw it to the Vinces and the Worthies and stuff like that.
When I think of teams also like that, I always go back to Detroit because people mention them, and I'll say, who was their glue? Lambeer. Just for what he did. He had pissed the other people off. Take them out of their game. I mean, you've got
Draymond.
That's what I'm talking about. You have got to have
averaged
somebody
about the
on
same,
your
too.
team
The Pistons
that
had
does
like
that.
Yeah, Draymond is very comparative to Bill Lambeer in the stats.
Yeah.
All right, looked up some fun. While I was looking at this, I was looking at some Jordan stats because you know they kind of mention stuff during the videos and stuff. So I was comparing. You know, when you talk about Michael and LeBron for some of you folks, the scoring stuff is just insane, Terry. Remember, Barkley was the leading scorer of the Dream Team in '92 and '96, 2 times. So when you talk about him, let's not underestimate that. All right, listen to this scoring titles for Jordan. This is how scoring went. Number 1, he's the all-time scorer per game, right? 10-time scoring champ. LeBron once.
Yeah.
12 players in NBA history have been a scoring champ more than once. During Jordan's heyday, this is where it gets crazy. Only 4 times that Jordan played was someone else a scoring champ. Here's the years. Rookie year, Bernard King was a scoring champ. So Jordan didn't lead the league his rookie year. You want to give him an asterisk for that, Terry?
Yeah, we will. That's first year. Come
All
on.
right, year 2, broke his leg and didn't play. Do you want to give him an asterisk for that
I'll
one?
give him another.
Dominique Wilkins led the NBA that year. People got really to lose on Dominique. People thought it was David Thompson, Dominique, and Jordan, and then Jordan was the one that came out winning. And that's what everybody makes a difference. People argue, Terry will say, people argue David Thompson's a better college player. Maybe even better player. Could have been a better player. People throw out Lynn Bias out there at him.
Yeah.
But you just didn't make it. Here's the other 2 years, Terry. 2002, 2003, when he was a Wizard.
Well, he was with the Wizards.
So the only 2 years he wore a Bulls jersey, and wasn't the scoring champion was his rookie year and the year he broke his leg. The other 2 were Wizards years. What is he doing in there?
He's having a party.
Okay, I got you. So the other one, and can you guess who led the league those 2 years when he was a Wizard?
Led the league
in scoring when he
Well,
was a
when
Wizard.
was this?
2002, 2003.
Yeah.
Jordan averaged 24 and 20 when he was a
Kobe.
Wizard. Nope.
That's too early.
Damn.
That's probably real early in Kobe's career. When was Kobe drafted?
96.
Yeah.
Okay, well, not as early as
So
I thought.
Kobe,
That was still
it took
number
Kobe
8
about 10 years to win a
was
scoring
about to say,
title
that's
because
still
Michael
number
was in
8
the
Kobe.
NBA.
Tracy McGrady.
That's one. That's the second year.
Yeah, boy.
God, I can't even think about who was a big time scorer in those years. I was still young.
Allen
Iverson.
Allen Iverson.
I still was too
I
young
couldn't.
to really pay
When did
attention.
Allen Iverson finally retire?
3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, wow.
It wasn't actually
after
that
he was on like his 4th team.
Yeah. It actually wasn't that long ago.
What was it? He was his final year. Wasn't he with the Nuggets? And then he was like, "How the heck did I end up in Denver?"
He was with Carmelo.
He came back to
stuff.
Philadelphia for like to end a season and retire as a 76er.
We have something to talk about for retirement as well as we close this show.
You retiring? Are you done finally?
No. I think we should
done with
talk
this?
about the kitty cat that retired.
Hold on, we are. So I'm about to finish this up on the score. Now listen to this. So what I say? One other. Those are the scoring titles. So since LeBron's been in the league, 9 other people have won a scoring title. Harden, Durant, Westbrook, Curry, Melo, Dwayne Wade, Kobe, Allen Iverson, and Tracy McGrady. So there you go.
I can go with that because my whole deal in mind, you have to think of LeBron's overall game. He also dished out a lot of assists.
He can be a scorer, but he's not a scorer.
I mean,
LeBron had in his career scored over 30 twice in his career.
Had to both be early.
Once was his second year was his highest ever. Was the second year that he scored. I don't have the exact number. It was like 33 a game, or 32 a game, and then the other year he averaged 30.1 a game. That's Jordan's career average. Now, what's funny about that? So we talk about the possessions thing. Now they're getting about 105 possessions a game. So I went down just for fun, and I know this is it wouldn't work. This wouldn't work out exactly. But we always talk about what could Michael score today's game. So this is without 3-pointers still, because Michael didn't shoot threes. So just looking at the 100 possessions a game. Terry, what do you think his average is? Now remember, today's NBA is 105 possessions. So Michael had 100 possessions a game. This is his career. This is Wizards included. His career average at 100 possessions a game is.
His career average?
Michael. Career average for every 100 possessions. This is.
I'm going to say 33.7.
40.4.
I knew it was going to be up, but it's
40.4. That's still
per 36 minutes.
Yeah, I've got that. And just say that Carson, the highest he ever had was the year 3 where he averaged 37. Per 100 possessions that year, 46.4 points a game.
It's not bad.
That's insane. Okay.
Ain't probably not but one guy better than that, and that's Chamberlain.
Yeah. I can look it up. Let's say 36 minutes career-wise, 28.3.
It's not bad.
His highest per 36 minutes was the 37-point game. That's 33.4. So
for 36 minutes.
For 36 minutes. That's almost a point a minute. Well, the NBA, and that's and that's and it drives me crazy. Look at those Hornets payroll numbers, is because when you look at that and you say, well, Jordan's averaging 30 a game, he got paid $30 million, and the averages of the NBA, the cap is right at almost where they're averaging points. So it's basically 110 points a game. The cap's 110. So if you get my opinion, you get paid $30 million, you need to score 30 points, and like the Biombo's 12 under his. But Kim is making up for it because he's 12 over his. We got to take a break. All right, we got to go. JP, when we come back, folks, we got special rest of the show, Super Bowl coverage here. If you're watching live online today on YouTube, you see Carson and Hunter sitting here in their brand new, beautiful Super Bowl 10. We're going to find a place to put it behind them somewhere.
I thought that was
Terry
mine.
wants to cover up Sosa with it.
I thought that was mine. It was laying over here.
Terry.
No.
Hey, what's funny is Terry hating on them too.
Stations.
How many beers do you drink watching them two in '98, Terry?
All you had to do is watch television.
Wait a minute. There was 136 home runs, so I had 136 beers in 1998.
And the worst part about it, I sat there and I wanted to see it too, and that's crazy.
Beers. All right, JP, let's take a break. We're back. KDC Broadcast.
Flu shots are now available at the Falston Pharmacy, at Allen Drug Store in Stanley, and at Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville. All 3 stores can bill Medicaid, along with Medicare and Blue Cross Blue Shield. And at all 3 stores, you can now find Little Beekeeper from Lincolnton. It's great for allergies. And local elderberry to help fight off colds, flu, and allergies. Plus local honey, too. The Falston Pharmacy on Highway 18 North in Falston, Allen Drug Store, Main Street in Stanley, and Medical Center Pharmacy on East Academy Street in Cherryville. Smiles are the specialty at Family Dentistry in Shelby. Dr. Stroud, Wilson, Thompson, and McCurry invite you in for all of your dental needs. From preventive care to cosmetic dentistry, from crowns and bridges to root canals and implants. For your appointment, call 704-482-3281 or visit the website at shelbydentist.net. Yes, smiles are the specialty at Family Dentistry in Shelby. Located at 416 West Warren Street in Shelby. Kids love them. Hey, and you will too.
The Train Comfort Specialist. He's so reliable that buses set their schedules to him. Once, he was the best man for a guy he didn't even know. He's never used a snooze button. The unstoppable Train Comfort Specialist. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Your train dealer is Forest City Heated and Air at 457 South Broadway Street in Forest City. Call 828-245-1379. Remember, it's hard to stop a train. With CF Moto, you have the power to conquer more. From rocky creek beds to colossal mud pits to wooded mountainsides, CF Moto high-performance vehicles rip through the toughest terrain with ease. Outfitted with custom-designed, liquid-cooled four-stroke engines and an unmatched assortment of standard features, the CF Moto ATVs and Side-X sides do more than crush trailheads. CF Moto, available now at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Buy more, save more at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Come in now and save up to $1,200 on select GE Profile appliance packages, refrigerators, dishwashers, ranges, and microwave ovens. Let Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center put a package together for you. Again, save up to $1,200 on select GE Profile appliance packages. Buy more, save more at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center. 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday.
Took it over and I said, look, y'all, I said, I got bread before the phone does it.
Terry, they ought to pay you to use that phone.
Be proud of that. Tell the people.
That's right.
Tell them.
Hey, be smart.
Hold it up for the viewers online.
Hey, man,
Right here, Terry.
And that's
Oh
not
my
flip it.
God.
That's not actually the oldest phone that is owned by one of our broadcasters. I had a broadcaster yesterday, someone didn't know where the power button was on the laptop or the start menu button.
Yeah, boy.
Start menu.
And it works. Somebody's just texting me right
Hunter
now.
Yancey,
Some of
audio
my
engineer.
fans.
It wasn't him.
I was the digital media technology engineer yesterday.
Digital media technology engineer.
What a label he just gave
No,
himself.
That's because
how many syllables in that label? That's
what the degree is that I got when I went to broadcasting school.
Okay.
Digital media technology.
Okay. Mine's the double major in electronic media broadcasting and advertising.
There you go.
It's way too much to say.
Exactly.
Why y'all just put broadcast and advertising? Well, electronic media.
You gotta fancy it up.
I know, right? All right, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's Super Bowl preview time. Terry missed a little bit last week.
Gonna explode tomorrow.
So Carson Dockery's team is in the Super Bowl.
Just gonna blow.
Where's
right
the party at, Carson? That's what we all want to know.
I don't know if there's enough alcohol to console me.
Where are you watching the game at? What are you gonna do?
He can sit on his couch.
Are you having a house party? Are you going down to church? Or are you going to a wings?
Whoa, Terry.
Last time they were in it and they played New England, they got beat then.
Because they cheated,
That's
Terry.
when the dynasty started. Is this
My
where
God,
it
so we're
ends?
going to have to see this again? Y'all lose again?
Listen, I hope we record their practices. I don't
Now,
care.
Addison Johnson's working at Fats in Lincolnton, and he invited us over to during the Super Bowl if we want to go over and give him tips. He said.
Oh, okay,
So if y'all,
I'll give him a tip.
Said,
Keep working at Fat. There's your tip.
So if you want to go see Addison, you go do that. But
There's
Carson,
your
what is your
sign.
big plan? It's your Super Bowl. You don't get many of these.
Yeah,
So what you gonna do, man?
So
string it through the quad. What's the plans?
I've talked, and I'm either gonna hang out. We're either gonna get to a bar early at like 4 o'clock and like camp out and have a spot. Either that or do something at the house.
If you camp out or do something and I haven't found somewhere, if you camp out and get somewhere, text me.
Yeah.
And I may join you if I don't have, because I never know if my kids, if they're going to be in a behavioral mood.
Oh, got you. Yeah.
Or someone else wants to watch them. Well, I'll try to pawn them off to a grandma or
there
grandpa.
It is.
At some
Parenting.
Point.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. We got a birthday. Today's my son's birthday party. It's not his birthday. His birthday was a month ago. But
poor kid.
Well, Terry,
That's like taking candy from a baby.
Actually, Terry's gonna be really mad when I tell him when it was. It's actually 2 months ago.
Well, see there? My Lord, poor kid.
His birthday is the day after Christmas.
Right.
And we're gonna wait until February before we do
First
anything
of all,
for it.
now usually we do it New Year's.
That's why I like my birthday. I'm a smooth month after Christmas, so I've got enough time for you to have recuperated from Christmas.
That's what you
got
to do.
Buy me something.
You can't hit up Terry. You can't hit up the parents a day after or a week after Christmas. You got to wait till they get their next paycheck, and then have the party.
I know all
See,
about
Terry,
that.
think about that.
My birthday is December the 22nd.
Okay.
And there you go. Hey, buddy, we got you one gift.
Terry,
for your birthday
we
and
spent
Christmas.
$5 extra. It was buy one get one free. We got you the second one.
Yeah. Oh, that costs a whole 50 cents more.
If you're a December birthday, you get buy one get one free presents.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I've got you a bigger gift, Terry.
I've got a full month afterwards, and that's what I've used my whole life. Is somebody hit me with, oh, well, wasn't it just Christmas? Yeah, a month ago.
Yeah.
You've had 2 paychecks since then, big dog.
2 paychecks. So, got Christmas. My son's birthday is the day after. My wife's birthday is January 10th. So I've got to save up in December. Y'all don't ask me for any money in December. For anything. I'm not buying you a Coca-Cola, a Sun-Drop, nothing.
No.
No,
my grandparents.
You're going to give me some water. It's free. It's adopted.
Kevin reminds me of somebody else I know. The kid was sent down to get popcorn. Okay? And the kid comes back up with a candy bar. The person who sent him down takes the candy bar from him and eats it himself. Said, I sent you after popcorn.
Yeah.
They did not have popcorn. This is what he brought back. Hey, I'm taking it from you.
It's all about teaching him a lesson, Terry. Listen, either come back with popcorn or come back with my money. If I say popcorn, unless I give you a backup plan, in which case, yeah, go ahead and get whatever I tell you second.
Yeah, that popcorn would have lasted longer.
Exactly.
So
I'm gonna fill me up more.
I
than
forgot to
a
pull
candy
them
bar.
up, but I'm gonna pull them up in a second in our next break. But my favorite part, or one of my favorite part of Super Bowl is doing the prop bets.
Yeah.
You know, it's the over/under on how many seconds the
coin
national anthem
coin
is.
flip. What the coin flip's gonna be?
What's the color of the Gatorade of the winning team?
Yeah.
So back in college and a few years afterwards, I used to kind of host about 10 Super Bowl parties, really, and we would have a sheet, a magic sheet.
Bookie?
No, we would just
Not
have
yet.
We would just have a magic sheet of about 20, 25 prop bets.
Yeah.
So you could buy the sheet for $5, $10, whatever it
So
was.
your version of a parlay card.
Right, but it's just all prop bets.
A bookie. It's a bookie.
Yeah. So anyway, you go down, you buy a raffle ticket. Anyway, you buy the raffle ticket and you pick out, you do all your picks, and
Sounds
whoever
like
gets
a pyramid
whoever gets the most wins that pot. Then you get a second place too. Whoever
You're
gets
a
the
loan
most
shark
points.
at the same time.
Yes, I'm all that.
You were just
He's running a
you were
pyramid.
just a shady operator.
He's running a
weren't
pyramid
you?
scheme.
by betting by people
That's
putting.
how
let's see,
that's how he survived college.
what
ladies
is
and
$5 divided by
$5 divided.
25? 4, 8,
What?
12, 16, 20.
Cent?
Yeah,
That's dirt
20.
cheap.
Huh? It's 20 cents a bet over the national anthem.
That's awful.
What a bookie! Throw me
Make
in
it
jail.
$1.
Throw me in jail. It's 20 cents for
Make
for
it
per,
make
per
a dollar
question.
out of it. Make it a whole number.
Well,
Nickel, dime, quarter.
Then the college kids come in and be like, guys, I can't get more than $5 on something.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, right.
He's not wrong.
That'd be every single complaint.
Yeah.
We had a board, the Magic Square board.
Yeah.
One time we increased it from $1 to $2, and we only had 10 people buy things instead of just the dollar. I only brought $5. I can only buy 10.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to go crazy about the gym I go to. They're going up a whole $10 on us, and I'm about to lose my mind. I'm like, what do you mean? You have no reason.
For the amount of muscle that you're packing on over there,
Yeah.
you can work out at home for cheaper.
Oh, no.
Okay.
There's no you don't need to power squats.
Shots fired.
Well,
Shots fired.
Let's play the race.
But he's in good shape. Why?
Yeah, walk it back.
What I'm getting at is that at a
break them down and
why
build
would
'em back
someone
up.
why would someone your size and shape be paying for a gym?
Right.
when you could, if you, are you going to, are you heavy lifting or are you cardio and type stuff? That's what I'm asking. So you're not heavy lifting, are you?
No,
okay, so you can do most stuff at home, or
I'm scared to get stuck and hurt myself.
Oh, okay. But that's what I'm getting at. 'Cause he's not ever power squatting and
gym workout
power
anytime.
cleaning and all that.
The gym that I go to doesn't even offer a powerlifting area.
What I'm getting at is
But
that
it's not
are
Planet
the
Fitness.
exercises that you do there you could probably do them maybe at home or somewhere else maybe without being cheaper.
I
Is
mean,
there something there?
It's
that-
more than just a body weight type
Yeah, it's
weight. I mean, I'm not just gonna have like
That's what
80,
I'm asking.
90-pound dumbbells.
And
at
them
the
dudes do
house.
P90X with nothing.
Crazy. Yeah, I've tried it.
You don't CrossFit. All you need is a bar and a box, Hunter.
Yeah, but dang, have you seen how much places?
I know
charge for
two. I know
CrossFit?
two CrossFit instructors I went to high school with. I might get you a deal.
I was gonna say Denver.
But
Health,
all you need is
Denver Health and Fitness does it.
But
They
all
are
you need
kinda
is a.
out of this world.
Listen,
in prices.
you need a box, a
Drop the
bar.
prices, maybe.
You need a box, a bar, and access to YouTube. I don't know why you need to pay to do this stuff. All right, we got.
And you'll need knee surgery after you do.
We
it.
got
to the Super Bowl.
We got a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hey Terry,
Football.
And it was Carson's.
Hold up. We got a caller.
Oh,
we got a Super Bowl preview caller. The fan, a fan of the original Super Bowl champion.
Oh boy!
Green Bay Packers.
There we go.
Will the Thrill Boykins is on the phone. He pulls for two football teams that are green and gold. Neither one of them is a yellow jacket, and I don't get it whatsoever.
There's no reason for us to pull for yellow jackets when you're the best. Just pull for the best.
Okay. What's up, Will the Thrill? What you doing Saturday?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I got some deer out back. You want to come over here and take care of them for me?
Listen, I heard the conversation about the deer. I said, am I listening to sports talk or hunting?
Terry pulled out his 45 Magnum. Was about to go out the back door.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hey guys, I got a great prediction. You're not gonna believe this. You're not.
The Packers are not gonna win. You're right.
You're not gonna believe this. But a defensive player is gonna be your Super Bowl MVP.
Ooh, that's a good prediction. Are you gonna pick the player?
And the MVP of the Super Bowl is gonna be Mr. Aaron Donald.
Will, oh my God.
Well, you just made friends of Carson. Between the two of you, I want one of you to answer this
so
question.
So he'll be the second one that wins it when they lose.
Terry. Yeah.
Oh,
my other question is, Will, real quick. I've never seen a Super Bowl MVP win a Super Bowl without having a single sack.
Nah. He's going to have his biggest game.
He ain't got one in the playoffs
Sunday.
so far. He don't have one in the playoffs.
He's going to have his biggest game Sunday. He's going to have 4 sacks because they are not going to lose the broadcast.
Hasn't got one the whole season. He's back to take Brady down 4 times.
Listen, here's the difference between the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl.
Tell me.
The linebackers for the Chiefs had to blitz because they didn't have a front four that could blitz. They could do anything on their own. This front floor can handle it by themselves. The linebackers are going to be in the middle of the field. Therefore, the inside slant is not going to be there.
Will.
And that's the only way they beat the Chiefs. So inside slant is not going to be there. That's going to be taken away. They're not going to be able to run the ball with Ndamukong Suh right there. He's an automatic run stopper. Come on, be for real.
Will, listen to me. When Belichick had 2 weeks against the Chargers did nothing. Nothing. So Belichick's had 2 weeks for this Rams team, and guess what? These Rams are going to do nothing.
Man, Belichick had 2 weeks against a Georgia team that didn't have Todd Gurley in the backfield.
Todd Gurley, he's done nothing for them lady. It's been
He's their second best running back.
I'm telling you, you got a really good running game, a really good passing game. You seen what the Chiefs did to him. They was down 14. They came back and had the lead. Actually should have won the game, except for 2 calls, 2 horribly missed. One horrible call on the ref and one horrible call on the defensive player being offsides. But the call for the roughing the passer when the guy smacks him in the chest, that's crap.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. This game right here, and I'm going to tell you what's going to be the difference.
Will. Real quick before Terry goes, if you win by 10, you can't blame the refs. Go, Terry.
Yeah, but the Rams have nobody to stop Edelman. Not one soul on that defense can stop that guy.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, but he can only run an inside slant. There's nothing else
They
there
have
for him. That's
nobody.
not
He's
going to be
gonna,
open.
Brady's going to go to him.
That's not going to be open.
He's going to have.
Not going to be open.
Oh yeah, he's going to have 10, 12 catches because nobody's going to be able to stay with him.
I keep Talib if he had a chain, he'd yank it.
Khalid, come on.
Well, Will,
cannot stay
what you
without
doing
him.
today? We're gonna play some Super Bowl interviews here for a minute for Carson and Hunter today. What you do? So I need your final score and then tell me what you're doing this weekend. What you find? Right?
I'm eating wings and I think I'm watching the Super Bowl at Shanksville in Shelby.
Okay. What's your
And
final?
I'm eating wings.
What's your final score prediction?
My final score prediction, I don't even see it being close. I see 21-45.
45-21 Rams with a 24-point blowout victory over the Patriots is Will Boykin's prediction. We're going to put it on the board, Will, and then next weekend we're going to make fun of you, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks for
Are you talking about how great I am? So either way, it's good.
Oh, my God, Will, you already been in Otis's wagon.
You got a 1 in 50 chance for us to talk about how great you are next week, I promise. Thanks for
now,
calling.
hold on, Bill. The only reason why I'm going to ask
Hunter's got
right
one
now,
question.
I'm like, wait. Do you know something we don't know? That's a bold statement because the spread is only 2.5.
4 sacks and a 24-point blowout.
Do you know something we don't know? Have you got an insider?
And Paul Carson don't know what to say.
I know football, and I know defense will stand up. I know Tom Brady's been real arrogant, and the defense know he's been real arrogant about everything. The defense is ready to show that they are the main source of that team.
All right, Will, I thank you for
It's going to be the best defense they played all year.
Yep, you're right. Well, thank you for calling, Will. We're going to do our predictions, and we're going to play some interviews for us. Thanks for calling and listening. Will the Thrill Boykins. Out there in Shelbytown. He's going to have good fun. He'll have fun tomorrow. He'll probably send me a text about we'll send him some text tomorrow when the Patriots are up 20. How about that, Will?
We'll trade texts tomorrow for sure.
All right, buddy. Have a blessed Sunday and have fun tomorrow at Super Bowl. All right, well, that's Will Boykins with 45-21 prediction. I'm going to give some. Oh, my God. The spread's 2.5.
Yeah. 2.5.
Patriots are favored.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, yeah, this is a huge flip.
Terry,
right
and we're about to come. We got to go to a break, but real quick before we go to break, we got one more break, right? JP.
There it is.
Do we have another break before 8 o'clock? Before the 10 o'clock? Okay, we need to take this breaks because we got to come back and play these clips. So, Terry, out of 53 Super Bowls, 45 of them have been won by top 12 defense. New England 6th, the Rams are 20th.
Think of that. That's all I got to say.
Now, I will say this about the Rams. They've got the secret weapon. Who is it, Carson? Give me one guess. Who's the secret weapon, Hunter?
Sean McVay.
Nope.
Who's
the secret weapon, Terry?
Make a mistake.
You're in the neighborhood.
Wade Phillips?
Yes.
I was going to say, wait. He said he's too young, and now automatically I'm like, the oldest guy,
Wade Phillips. He knows how to beat Belichick. He's beat him before. He's a good defensive coordinator. He's been in these games before. He's not afraid of Belichick. Now
he's not afraid to send him either. Now, what he did with the Broncos.
Who's liable to do worse, McVay or Phillips in this game? I would say maybe McVay because of inexperience. You never know what Belichick's going to throw at him. And what bothers me about the Rams' offense is the way McVay talks to him up until 15 seconds. So Belichick knows this. So do you think they're going to do anything before 15 seconds? It's going to be one of those, we're all going to stand 10 yards off the line or stand here with our backs turned or bark like dogs. Yep. We're not showing you nothing. And so Belichick's going to make Goff make the calls and adjustments at the line and try to take McVay. I think that's what they'll do is that they'll do the old Baltimore Ravens, everybody line up across the line, 11 on the line of scrimmage. Now, y'all are going to have to beat them deep. When they do that, you're going to have to make them pay for that, and you are going to have to run the ball. And I don't know if Gurley is hurt or something. The way you ask somebody if they're hurt, they asked Eric Dickerson, and he tried to play around it without coming out and saying he is, but he didn't say he wasn't hurt. Real quick, we got to go to break, and then you guys, the rest of the show is going to be you guys telling your story Super Bowl. And we're going to play some clips, okay? So JP, let's go to break. We'll be right back on KDC Broadcast.
At Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Come in now and save up to $1,200 on select GE profile appliance packages, refrigerators, dishwashers, ranges, and microwave ovens. Let Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center put a package together for you. Again, save up to $1,200 on select GE Profile appliance packages. Buy more, save more at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center. 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday.
I'm Terry Clark, inviting you to join me this week for Country Gold, where we play all your favorites from the 80s and 90s.
Country Gold with Terry Clark, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
Let your ideas grow at the Southern Spring Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through 25th and March 2nd through 4th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. With hundreds of experts all under one roof, this is the place to find great deals, new ideas, and practical advice. See Vern Yip of TLC's Trading Spaces. Plus, explore thousands of square feet of landscaping and florals in Bellegarde Gardens. From kitchens and baths to landscaping and more. Don't miss the Southern Spring Home and Garden Show. Buy tickets online and save $2 at charlottespringhomeandgardenshow.com.
It's time to save big on your dream RV at Campers Inn RV of Kings Mountain. We've extended our auction pricing sales through December 1st. Hurry in now for rock bottom deals on 2018 motorhomes and fifth wheels. Find a 2018 Keystone Avalanche with middle bunk room for just $49,229, or a 2018 Forest River FR3 Class A motorhome for just $79,995. Our inventory is priced to move, so hurry on in because these RVs are gone. Visit Campers Inn RV, the RVer's trusted resource at campersinn.com.
Former club members Denzel Washington and Jennifer Lopez for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future.
You can change a child's future. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
You can open doors for children to have great futures at the Boys and Girls Club of Cleveland County. Visit us at 412 West Sumter Street or at greatfutures.org.
In sports, you want to get every advantage possible, and it's the same when it comes to your money, especially at tax time. And Noah K. and Numbers Bookkeeping and Income Tax Service in Shelby is the place to go to get every advantage you deserve. They'll work hard for you to take advantage of the credits and deductions that you've earned and make the most of your return. Just call Noel K. at 704-484-2783 and learn more. Get the advantage. See Numbers Bookkeeping and Income Tax Service, 707 South Lafayette Street in Shelby, next to the S&M Sports Shop.
And welcome back to Saturday Sports Talk. It's Super Bowl preview time. We've been talking a little bit about it. Carson and Hunter this week, Monday night, sent them down to Media Day. Didn't know if that was a mistake before we sent them down there or not, Terry, but they did a pretty good job. Got a lot of clips and pictures. I haven't even seen the pictures and stuff. You already give me that.
I have the camera here. It's in the...
We're going to put those, folks, I've got a playlist on YouTube right now of some of the clips. There's a couple interviews I haven't got clipped yet. But I've got most of them. I've got the full interviews. I'm going to go put them back on. But what I was trying to cut the clips were of y'all's actual questions and not, y'all got a bunch of good information of them talking to other people and stuff.
Yeah,
that's really all it was, what I thought it would be. That's fine. It's what we wanted. But when y'all got to ask questions, folks, I'm going to put it all on the internet so you can go watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to, we've got pictures to go with the audio. But what I was going to say is that, I've got the videos on it you can go through, and I didn't expect, even if you couldn't talk to me about it, it's fine. But there is other extras to talk about. But I want to put you guys' actual questions on here on the show. So real quick, give your guys' perspective, tell about the trip, and then we'll get to take us all the way into Media Day, and then I'm going to play some of these clips for you guys. So you guys went to Atlanta Monday night?
Yeah, went to Atlanta. It's about a 3.5-hour drive there. Got a lot of bonding time with me and Carson. We listened to podcasts the whole time. It was a great ride. But we get down there and we go and get, of course, our credentials. They had messed up on our credentials, so we had to call Kevin to work his magic so the people at the Super Bowl could get it right. Luckily, they did fix it.
Had to run stuff down there, too.
They did. They fixed the problem, which we're actually happy they did. But in the meantime, while they were fixing our credentials, we went through, it's called the NFL experience down there. It's huge. It really is huge.
Yeah.
We walked through there briskly, like fast, didn't really stop to do anything, and we were down there for maybe an hour.
A smooth hour and a half.
Hour and a half. So if you would have taken the time,
that's all day.
That's an all day thing.
All day.
You can go in there, take part in events. You know, they have like the big Play 60 events they have in there.
Right. You can get down there today, folks.
Yeah,
still.
You can still go down there today and take part of it. Absolutely.
I think it was only $20. Yeah, it's worth it.
$20 if you're just wanting to be a fan and go in there. They had a big NFL store. Go in there and get you some Super Bowl merchandise. I'm wearing some right now. I've been wearing it since I came back.
I didn't even see that. Why do you got that? Why did you got that out? You've got your Yancey-ness over it.
I'm sorry, it was cold this morning. Look at
Terry,
you,
I'm sorry.
Terry. It's okay, Terry. Believe me, if you'd have seen the price tag, you would have thrown up.
I am pretty broke.
I won't even talk about it.
How many games you got to work to pay for that sweater?
That's two. Only two.
God.
Yeah, boy.
Geez.
No, I'll say this.
Boy.
You know the Belichick type, like cutoff hoodie he kind of wears?
Oh, God.
They've got one there, and it was made where it has this here, and then you can get
like
one
a
with
player
the
number,
Patriots.
The ones the players were wearing? With the weird necks?
Yeah,
It was like
I'm going to
Bigfoot.
just tell you the price, because there's no way in hell I'd pay it. $350.
My
For
Lord.
a short sleeve hoodie.
I'll tell you, now this...
You don't even keep your
this
so
was
you got to have hairy arms to wear that
This
hoodie.
was $100. It was. And it's a Nike. Now, take this off, it's probably only $60.
Could you have bought the
How much do
trophy?
the kids in Thailand make it for that for?
I don't know.
13
I have
cents.
no idea. If I'm not, yeah. I don't know. But it was fun. The experience was really fun. They had a few Hall of Fame busts in there. You could walk past and look at some of the Hall of Fame busts. That was fun for the fan experience.
Yeah.
Now, when you get down to the actual opening night, where we go into the arena,
That was a zoo.
yeah, that was a madhouse.
That was.
They came. I don't know if you caught it, but when they came over the loudspeakers, because it was televised, it was on NFL Network. The guy that was there, kind of the host of the show, I don't even know who it was. I wasn't even paying attention to him. I could care less. But I heard him come over and say 2,000 members of the media are here tonight. I was like, oh, jeez. No wonder I feel like a sardine just packed in here.
Really?
When I tell you we're walking around and bumping into people left and right just because, like,
It was worse than
it's not
a
just
crowded
you and a
club or
pen.
something.
Everybody's got big equipment.
And it's all
people
dudes.
Are there. People are there.
No, there was
people
some
are there
most-
with, like,
mostly.
television cameras and stands. And that's where I'll get into it. And I've told multiple people that I'm thankful I was there. It was an amazing experience. Glad I got to talk to the players. I hate how it was set up, where it was 11 booths of the big name players, and
then everybody else is walking around.
And everybody
on the
else
floor.
is walking around. It's easy to get to everybody that's walking around.
Oh,
but
yeah,
if you're
super
the
easy.
head coach or the quarterback, a reporter can stand in front of you literally for the 45 minutes you're on the floor, and that just screws it
for guys
everybody
like
else.
us. And you got to think about it too, though. Belichick and Brady's gonna be on. All their major questions, everything. They're gonna be on TV anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess what's good for guys like us is like y'all can get one-on-ones about anybody else you really want.
That's exactly right.
And it's easy for that.
There was only
And so
one
we
person
got a
that
couple
was
of them.
on the floor that I could not get to, and that wasn't in a booth, and that was Sony Michel. But that's just because he's a rookie. He played at the University of Georgia in the national championship game. Now he's hit on the Super Bowl Patriots at the Super. Like, there was just a lot of people around him the whole time. But when I tell you there was probably 15 feet of reporters between me, Belichick, and Brady for the whole 45 minutes they were out there, same with McVay and Goff. Like, there was no...
Like, what are you getting by being 10 people back when everyone else, like I said, when Belichick and Brady, everything stays on national TV anyway?
That's what I'm saying, and it was... Now,
to me, it'd be wasting time to be over there when you could be interviewing one of the other guys
that's
like
exactly
you guys
right.
got.
Now, I think how they should have set it up is if you're going to have those people there, obviously maybe move them after 5 minutes. Say, hey, you had your
Have
5
a
minutes
line,
of time.
basically.
You had
So the
your
same
five-
guys
yeah,
just saying,
yeah,
once you ask a question, move to the back.
Once you're done with that, just get going. I mean, it was.
What if they
great,
put
though.
all the announcers on a moving?
Those were the only
treadmill
two.
that
Those
we're
were the
on?
only two Rams players, McVay and Goff, that you could not get to because I was still able to get up like right next to Todd Gurley and ask him questions. But for the Patriots, there were 4 players that I just couldn't get to, and you know them. It's Belichick, or 3 and a coach. Belichick, Brady, Gronk, and Edelman. There was no way. I would have seriously had to have been violent to try and get up front and them to actually hear me. I was able to squeeze through, though, and the camera we had and get a picture of Belichick at the podium. But other than that, I mean, I tried to get pictures of Gronk standing on my tiptoes, and I couldn't do it.
All right, Carson. You got a minute to be a fanboy. Tell me about your most fanboys in there with the Rams.
I mean, honestly, it was. And we've got Fossil. First off,
he's so excited about interviewing the special teams coordinator.
Yeah, no, that was really it. It was. I got to ask him a super niche-y, like nobody else probably would think about it question. I asked him about Zerline and I asked him about the long snapper, and I basically got him to realize something about Greg Zerline that he didn't even realize, before. I talked to him. So
his nickname's Greg.
I was thinking about this on the way over here about Carson talking special teams coordinator, and I will laugh my booty off if the Rams somehow win because of a special teams call and it was something. And what if Carson put it like a Zerline, some type of thought, because he kept mentioning those long snappers.
Fossil's just like,
what if you got a fake play with a long snap? Carson mentioned the long snapper. So what if he's got a fake play with a long snapper somehow? Fumblerooski or something. I don't know. But I was like, oh, that'd be so funny that Carson talked. So
that would be. We're gonna sell that clip and we're gonna make some money.
The coolest part for me though, that's not like current player related, and I just saw it up there, was I caught Trent Dilfer just walking.
I thought he had some good comments. We'll talk about that in a minute.
I just said, hey, do you have a minute? And he's like, yeah, I can give you a few minutes.
So we talked. So those two talk. These guys talked to a couple of players and coaches. We're going to play some of that right now here to end the show and do it. We'll do our Super Bowl picks. First, Gurley. We'll go with him. I had a comment. His first comment.
Broadcasting here with running back for the New England Patriots, Rex
Burkhead.
I didn't even know he hit that. That's the Burkhead thing. But we're going to stop.
He was a nice guy too. He was very nice.
But Curly, first thing you mentioned was he gives all the praise and glory to God is what he plays for. Y'all didn't get that. Someone else did. But what I wanted to get was Hunter asking him about he being from North Carolina and stuff. And this is funny to me, and I'll tell you why in a second. So this is Gurley talking to Hunter.
What do you do to give back to your community back in North Carolina?
Man, just go back. Just get that hometown love. Go back, man. Obviously, this past, I went back for Thanksgiving. We had the turkey drive, and we did the pay to layaway. But I mean, we do a lot of stuff. I don't really like to talk about it. I just kind of just like to do it on his own. And, if it gets out there, it gets out there. But man, I just always kind of look at things, just doing it from the heart, and just giving back, little by little.
Does it feel good to have family members obviously coming to see you from that hometown, because you play on the West Coast, being close to home?
Yeah, it feels good, man, for me not to be able to spend all my money buying flights, so they guys can just drive down, so that's pretty cool too.
And I'll say this though, people are like, "Why are you yelling?" When I tell you it is stupid loud in there.
They should have been playing music.
No, yeah,
that messed with
for the fans.
There
for
were
the people
fans
sitting
there.
here.
It was really
so
loud.
loud.
Even it was really loud on TV for the music too.
Yeah.
My wife said something about it. I'm like, yeah, everybody's trying to do interviews and they got it pumping in there. I can understand some music maybe because I remember watching one of the Cowboys ones when they were with the Bills in Atlanta. They were playing should have been a cowboy during some of those. I remember that was they kept going to the clips, and that was the song in the background
and
at the same time.
another reason, just for people that have never been to one of these settings, obviously the fans kind of probably saw it that were there as well. It is a part of the media in this setting. If you have to be a dog and you just have to be louder than the dude next to you to get their attention, because they're getting yelled at by 10
two
people.
things on Gurley's comments there. One, he goes home to get some hometown love. Okay. Two, now y'all didn't see it. Y'all can see the picture of him. See the necklace.
Oh, I know.
On national TV, Dion interviewed him before y'all did, I guess. And Dion asked him, he said, I heard that you don't walk around with less than 100 G on your neck.
Yeah.
He said, that's right. This is 120.
Yeah, boy.
He has a $120,000 necklace on his neck, Terry. That's what you get for running over Lincoln. He told Hunter says, congratulations, you won a state championship. He's like, I won 3.
Yeah, he was like, no. I told him, I said, we're from one of the areas.
You don't even know he played Lincoln.
I was like, I'm from North Carolina. We cover one of the schools that you beat when you won a state championship. He's like, you gotta be more specific. I won multiple state championships. I was like, oh God. All right.
So remember
weird flex, but okay.
Remember remember this fella is wearing a $120,000 necklace.
Yeah.
What did he just tell you, Hunter? He didn't want to pay for flights. The man wearing a $120,000 necklace was glad he was near the Super Bowl, not because his family could come see him, was because he didn't have to pay for their flights to come see him. That's just hilarious to me. That's what he had to say. All right, we talked to Rex Burkhead for a minute. Let's skip over Rex for a minute. He talked about the running backs. What do you want to? Did you have?
I enjoyed talking to Rex. He was very.
I wanted to get in what Dilfer said.
After I told him, "Hey, good luck," and he was like, "Thanks, man. I enjoyed the interview." I was like, "Hey, dope." Shook my hand. He was real nice. You know, sometimes like thanks for them, they just turn away and.
Well, that's how Fossil was really. He was really nice to me. He gave really good answers.
So this is Trent Dilfer talking to Hunter, and I thought this was one of the best comments that Hunter got.
I just say eliminate the distractions. Don't embrace it. Don't try to appreciate the week. That's garbage. You're trying to win a game. You're not trying to appreciate a week.
Yeah.
I think that's the stupidest thing ever. I think do everything you can do to win the game, eliminate the distractions, then you'll really appreciate the week.
What do you think about that, Terry?
I agree. I mean,
that's it. he talked to Hunter about Goff here and about dealing with fame as well or success.
Jared Goff, obviously, his career is still young. He's got a lot of time left in the NFL. What has impressed you so much with how he's been early in his career?
Yeah, same thing impressed me when I coached him when he was 17. He just has that presence and poise and temperament that he's going to handle success and failure equally well. And a lot of us, like I handled failure well. I didn't handle success very well. You know, so to find that balance in a young man that just was raised a certain way, has a certain perspective, and then has a bunch of talent, it's really what you're looking for.
Now next we had we talked to LaMarcus Joyner. I thought he was pretty cool, pretty fun.
Yeah, LaMarcus Joyner was a really good safety.
This is on him. Feelings on being in the Super Bowl.
Hunter Yancey here, KTC Broadcasting with Rams safety LaMarcus Joyner. LaMarcus, obviously this is a huge stage. You guys are happy to be here. What are the feelings that you have going into this game Sunday?
Personally or as a team?
Personally.
Oh, personally, man, if I had to be honest, I have a casual approach about this. I've been fortunate enough to play on championship teams all throughout my life, high school, college, and now doing it in the league. So I've been in environments like this. So for me, it's another game, and I'm excited because it adds to my legacy personally. So
it adds to his personal legacy. There's him talking about his funny coaches.
What kind of a leader is Wade Phillips as your defensive coordinator?
He's a great leader. He's a funny leader.
Yeah.
But he's great, man. Just the confidence he gives us because he motivates us. He's very supportive, very competent. So as a player, that makes you play loose, fast, physical, aggressive, without feeling like you're going to make a mistake, knowing that whatever good or bad, that you have a defensive coordinator that's going to support you.
Who's got a better sense of humor, Wade Phillips or Sean McVay?
That's a tight run, man. That's a tight race. I mean, depending on what day of the week it is. Both of those guys are hilarious. So it's great to have both of those guys.
So, Terry, I get a text, Hunter talks to Todd Gurley, NFL leading running back. Hunter talks to Hall of Fame winning Super Bowl quarterback Trent Dilfer. And then Carson sends me a text. Hey, I talked to the special teams coordinator for the Rams.
Yeah, boy. Hey, part of the game.
Not hating. It was just hilarious, and that's pretty much the order that went in. I had a good laugh about that one. But here is Carson talking with John Fassel, or Fossil. Fossil. So there should be an O there and an I, but it's A and an E. So John Fossil, this is Jim's son?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'll put that on him. Special teams coordinator with the Rams, and Carson talking to him a little bit. And Carson may have given him Carson may have won the Super Bowl. Let's see.
I can only hope.
Carson Dock with KTC Broadcasting.
What was your name?
Carson Dock.
Carson, yeah.
Just two quick questions. Obviously, Greg Zuerlein coming out, hitting a couple big field goals in the NFC Championship game. Last year, you lose him during the playoffs. What do you think? I mean, obviously, that's a big loss. Trying to bring in somebody new. How do you think that continuity helps him? Obviously, he's played throughout the season. He's had a really good season.
Yeah. I forgot that he missed last year's postseason game because he was injured. And so this was the first postseason games he's kicked in Dallas, which, but then New Orleans was, two of the most pressure-packed kicks back-to-back. Really, probably in NFL postseason history. And he nailed it, and that's just a result of his personality where nothing's too big for him because he's just You know, he just likes to be behind the scenes
like a really
and just do
calm,
his job.
level-headed guy.
Yeah, and that helps him out. And those were 2 crazy kicks because it was as loud as I've ever been in a place when he had to kick those field goals.
And then one more, just talk about Jake McQuaid. I feel like that's a guy, you got a really good special teams unit.
Yeah.
Your long snapper is as important as anybody on that special teams.
Yeah.
Just talk a little bit about Jake McQuaid.
Yeah, I mean, he's the glue for Greg and for Johnny.
Yeah.
And they trust him and rely on him so much that he is critical to just their confidence.
Yeah.
So big props to Jake. He's a stud, man.
I appreciate it, Coach.
You got it. Sure.
Hey, so the long snapper, Terry.
And I'm going to say something.
Team lost a playoff game because of the long snapper feud.
Exactly.
Wasn't it the Eagles?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say something. When you started talking to him and he asked you
Exactly.
again, what's your name?
That
again,
was big for
that's huge.
That is.
Because he wants to know who he's talking to. If he didn't hear it at the start, I want to hear you what your name is again.
Yeah.
Most guys are never going to do it. They talk to so many.
Carson go last, so Terry and then Hunter. Give your scores and your MVP for this game. Go Hunter and Terry. Whoever wants to go.
Terry, you can go right ahead.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm just going to be honest with you. You know, I want to say Brady, but I'm going with Edelman. I think that's going to be the guy that I think the Rams are going to have a hard time.
Hunter Yancey with
There it is.
Yeah, there we are. But I'm going with Edelman, and I'm going to think this guy's going to end up with 10 to 15 catches in this game. I don't think the Rams can cover him. And my score is going to be, for me, it's going to be one that New England pulls away at the end, and I think that McVay's going to make some mistakes during the game. And I've said this before, and he hasn't. But, you know, this is big time. This is Super Bowl time. 35-24 Patriots.
I got a score right now. Patriots 30, Rams 27. 3-point game, so I have the Patriots covering. Of course, in my heart, I'm going to be pulling for the Rams because I would love to see. I'd love to see the Rams win, but you're asking me to pick, and I think my brain is saying, hey, it would be a sin to go against Belichick and Brady, and it's kind of setting my MVP though. That's going to be difficult because it is easy to just say Tom Brady's going to win the MVP. He's obviously the quarterback. He's the big name going into this. If he wins, is he going to walk away or does he just continue to 45? I don't know. To me, I think the difference is going to be, I'm going to just say it, I think Sony Michel can be the MVP. I think the Patriots, everybody knows what Tom Brady can do through the air, but the Patriots are going to try and keep it on the ground to keep Los Angeles off the field for a while. So I'm going to give my MVP to Sony Michel.
All right, I got one more little quick interview to play. Hunter did ask some hard-hitting questions here.
KTC broadcast here with Duke Dawson Jr., New England Patriots defensive back. Duke, got 2 fun questions for you. How's it feel being in Atlanta?
It's a wonderful feeling, something that you dream of since you was little. And look, we finally here. It's a dream come true.
Absolutely. And what is one of your favorite Atlanta rappers' songs?
You gave me the hardest question ever.
Hey, man, that's what I'm here for.
And he failed.
I can't pick 2.
Go ahead. I'm not going to decide.
Well, it's a group, the Migos and of course Future. Well, I like Young Thug as well. It's a lot of rappers I like in Atlanta, but I would say those are my top 3.
Top 3. What's your favorite song out of them?
That's
one that you're listening to right now. That you're going to play before you go out on the field Sunday. It's going to get you so hyped.
It depends on my mood or how I feel. I don't really have a favorite song.
I don't think you talked to a music connoisseur on that one.
I didn't. All I wanted him to do was just give me one song. Just one song.
He couldn't do it.
And I wanted him, essentially, I mean, he didn't have to name the groups. All I wanted him to say was one song by an Atlanta rapper.
Yeah.
Like, he could have said anything.
And the fact he couldn't name one song, I'm going to forgive him for not naming anyone that didn't rap before 2010.
That's fine.
Yeah, because the Atlanta rappers. Let's not mention Ludacris. Jermaine
Ludacris.
Dupri.
Gucci.
Start with Gucci.
For the love of God, Gucci Mane.
You could go back a little bit further, Duke, but anyway, that was funny.
If I'm not mistaken, I didn't even want to say that. I think he might be either the same age or younger than me. So, I mean, hey.
A good bit would have been someone down there dressed up as the Dukes brothers and been interviewed. Y'all could,
oh, dear God,
and
no.
walked around interviewing people.
Nope.
Tight jeans. Button down. Carson, you got the shirt. It just needs to be tighter.
No, this
you got the shirt.
It's not getting any tighter.
Daisy Dukes.
I know. You could have dressed up. You could have dressed up Kate as Daisy.
Carson, all right, Carson, you need to give your pick.
All right, no, I got to give mine before I let Carson go final. So here's my thoughts on this.
Yeah.
It's all rigged.
Right.
But anyway, the Patriots have never played a Super Bowl. The highest winning number in a Super Bowl was last year win or lose, 6 points in overtime. That's the biggest margin of victory in any one that the Patriots won. That also, when you look at this and you say, let's say Brady hasn't lost any Super Bowls. He's won 5, Montana's won 4. And Montana's won in one of his Super Bowls, Terry, he won by more points than Brady has in all of his combined.
Yeah.
Same thing, you look, Bradshaw did the same thing, so did Troy Aikman. And I'm not saying they're better than Tom Brady. What I'm saying is that they're all close games. He's not dominating these games. They're coming back. The game plan for the Patriots for years has been keep it close. We got a chance to win at the end. That's all we can do. We win or lose at the chance at the end. The ones they lost was Eli and them throwing up prayers at the end.
They pull a Vince Young like he did in college. First half lay low, second half go the heck off.
So I see it could be in the 30s either way. I think it's going to be a 3-point game.
Yeah.
It is hard for me to look at this because I don't know how good these Rams players really are. But if I look at it and say was it 3 or 2001, 2? 2. In 2002, you guys had Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, and none of those guys are walking through this door. And C.J. Anderson's been leading the way, and I'm not 100% convinced on Goff. And like I said, Aaron Donald ain't even got a sack this supposed to. He don't need to get a sack. He just needs to dominate the run. But with all that said, and like Hunter said, how can you, with your brain says everything on the Patriots. And I want the Rams to win. I do. And I'm glad they're wearing their yellow. And for me, for someone like
Throwbacks,
I love the throwback. They won the Super Bowl with these on, then they changed and lost. I don't understand why you would change your championship winning uniforms. And like Carson said, and I looked online, y'all can't even buy those, can you?
We couldn't find them anyway.
They don't even got them to sell. You can't even buy those. And those are what they're. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I got an Aaron Donald one.
What is that? He's got. How many layers do you have on? What's under that layer? Oh, well, show us what the gym's been doing there, Hunter. Where's that money been going to? Where's that money been going to?
No wonder Hunter was early this morning. He's trying to pay for all the gear he bought.
All right, so my final score, 34-32 Patriots on a field goal, as always. Carson, pick your...
Wait a minute, MVP.
Oh, MVP, Gronk. If they're going to win, he's going to get one. Gronk VP, and he'll retire.
Oh, man.
All right, thank you, Carson. And
you can be with Will.
Oh, man.
JP saying wrap it up, Carson.
I don't care what JP says right now. Okay. I think if you're the Rams to win, you have to commit to the run early because Jared Goff is really good on play action. That'll set up play action later in the game. I think the defense is set up to bother Tom Brady the same way that the Giants did with 4 linemen, and you've got your 2 strongest ones up the middle with Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh. I think Aqib Talib on Julian Edelman. He'll bother him all day. That means you're going to be putting Marcus Peters on Chris Hogan, and that's a great matchup if you're the Rams. You've got really good safety help over the top in LaMarcus Joyner and John Johnson.
Who stops Edelman?
That's Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib will body him up. He'll piss him off.
That close to,
I think Terry's barking up the right tree real quick, and this is why. Is because to get pressure on Brady, you have to come up the middle. So not only is Donald and Suh going to have to play, they're going to have to commit some linebacker blitzes in those 0 gaps. When they do that, anytime you can fit those linebackers in there, that's opening up for Gronk and Edelman there in the field. I think it's going to be a great game. Go ahead, Carson.
On the offensive side of the ball, like I said, you got to commit to the run early. I think Todd Gurley was right that he just said he had a bad game against the Saints. He kind of looked like he was hurt, but at the same time, he had 2 really bad drops, and you can't blame the drops on, an ankle or knee. That's just – it looked like he was just having an off game. Jared Goff, that's really going to be what – that's going to be the X factor to me, and I hate it. Because, normally you want to give an X factor to something that's not really that obvious, but Jared Goff going against the defense and what they're going to do, how they're going to come out and try to bother him and try to take him off his game. I think it'll come down to special teams. I really do.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. I think you're indoors. You're in a dome. You've got 2.
Carson talked to the MVP.
Possibly. I think you're in a dome. We could set up to have one of the longest field goal attempts in the history of the Super Bowl. You got Greg Zuerlein and Stephen Gostkowski, 2 of the best kickers in the NFL. Johnny Hekker is arguably the best punter in the NFL, and he's as a fourth down conversion option, he's right there. You saw it, in the NFC Championship game. I'm gonna pick the Rams. I'm gonna do it. I haven't picked the Rams all year.
I agree. You did pick against them before.
I've picked against them basically all season.
You did.
31-30 Rams win, and my MVP. It seems like Super Bowl MVP is. I mean, yeah, as often as it is big names, it's just as often
not.
Just as often it's no names, and I feel like
Greg the Leg. Okay.
No, we're not going Sirline. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say it's Josh Reynolds. He's like a third receiver for the Rams. I think that's gonna be somebody when you get. I mean, normally we think of the Patriots secondary as pretty solid. I feel like you've got Stephon Gilmore, but after that it thins out really fast. Josh Reynolds is a really good receiver. That's who I'm gonna go with.
All righty. Well, that's it. JP, time to go. We've been way too long this morning, Saturday. Hope everybody had a great day. We'll see you next week on KTC Broadcasting. Saturday Sports Talk, we've got, how many picks do we have for Rams? Just one? Carson?
Two.
Carson will win with the Rams. Me, Hunter, and Terry with the Patriots. We'll see you guys next week. We'll be talking Super Bowl on KTCBroadcasting.com.
100 years of anything means a lot.
And
at Hunter,
popular. We have an IPA called Old Stone House IPA. It's named after the oldest house in Rowan County. It is